Newport News Public Schools Channel 47 presents Friday Night Football live from Todd Stadium. Tonight, Virginia High School League Eastern Regional Playoff action with the Woodside Wolverines taking on the Phoebus Phantoms.
And welcome to beautiful John B. Todd Field tonight, as right now we're in Newport News as the Division 5 Eastern Regional Semifinal game. Hi again, everybody. I'm Greg Bicaveras, along with Nate Milton and Chris Amick, as we have a great ball game for you on tap tonight. It's a rematch of the game October the 4th, in which Woodside beat Phoebus 14-13. Nate, this time it's one and done. We talk about these coaches, two big-time coaches.
Absolutely, Greg. When you talk about Coach Bill D for Phoebus and Coach Danny Dotson for Woodside, you're talking about a difference of experience. Phoebus, we know, won two back-to-back championships in 2001 and 2002, but Danny Dotson has already beaten Phoebus this year. Chris, what does Woodside have to do in order to get another victory tonight?
Well, Nate, it's simple. It's actually easier said than done. All they need to do is stop the run.
That's all.
That's it, stop the run. Of course, Woodside beat Phoebus 14-13 October the 4th. You're wondering why Woodside, the team in Newport News that normally plays at Todd Stadium, is the visitor. Well, it's about PowerPoints. Here to talk about it more is Bill D, the head coach at Phoebus.
The fact that we play at Darling and Todd so much during the year, I don't, if it was at, a particular school, I probably wouldn't have been open to the idea. But since it's an opportunity to play at a field that we have played at, and playing on a Friday, which I think high school football should be played on a Friday.
All right, folks, and welcome back to beautiful John B. Todd Field. 55 degrees tonight. Great weather on tap on this November 19th, 2004. As we're about ready for kickoff right here, it'll be Woodside versus Phoebus. Phoebus, of course, and Woodside hooking up for the second time. We mentioned at the outset that Woodside beat them 14-13 on October the 4th, and kicking off first will be the Phoebus Phantoms, and that'll be number 33 right there, Chris Swartz. Nate, he's a great special teams kicker.
Absolutely. He was all district and all Eastern region in 2003, very efficient, and that's what Phoebus can bring to the game, Greg. They're very efficient on offense, defense, and when you add in Chris Swartz on special teams as well.
That's right. And, of course, Phoebus in the blue and gold, Woodside in the white, black, and aqua right here on Channel 47. Glad you are with us in Newport News live. No score, just about underway for kickoff. They played 12-minute quarters here at Todd Stadium in the Virginia High School League. It's one and done now, Nate. One and done.
Absolutely. And this is going to be, very exciting matchup. Both teams come to this contest 8-2 and 7-2 in the district. And it's, like we said, Woodside won by 1 point in that game a couple weeks ago, and Phoebus has been thinking about that ever since. We're going to see if the Phantoms can step up and get their revenge tonight.
And, Chris, the field looks in pretty good shape.
Well, I guess you got to get it in pretty good shape for the playoffs. This is the playoffs, Tom. You want everything to look good.
Absolutely, and we're ready for kickoff, folks.
All right, the referees for tonight is Donald Sandy, the umpire Jim Curry, the linesman Tom Cantrell. Also, it is line judge Jeff Hyatt, side judge Maurice Davis, field judge Bill Davis, and the back judge Phil Stenstrom. We're about ready to go. And number 33, Chris Swartz to kick it off from the 40. Woodside will take it at the 15. And here come the Wolverines on the special teams kickoff. Still on his feet. And not much of a run right there by number 22. And that was Codero Cooper. One thing we will not see, Nate, we will not see much of Joakim Wigfall tonight. He is hurt.
Absolutely. That's a big loss for the Woodside Wolverines. But great job by Phoebus on the coverage right there, number 8. And that was Eric Torrance, went in and did a good job stopping the very fast, very quick Codero Cooper.
All right, just underway, 11:50 in the first quarter. Woodside will have the ball going right to left in the white, black, and aqua, led by Willie Bell, their quarterback, number 7. Keep an eye on him. 6'5", senior. Very tall, lanky. Woodside likes the wing T offense, while Phoebus has that 8-man front. There's Bell in the throw. Incomplete, intended for Stephon Welsh. Not much of a wing T play there, huh?
Right. Well, this is something we're going to see all night, folks, especially with Wigfall out of the game. Stephon Welsh, coming into the game, has 33 catches, over 400 yards, and 8 touchdowns. He's really their big playmaker, and we saw that when Phoebus beat Woodside earlier. Woodside beat Phoebus.
There's Danny Dotson, the head coach of Woodside in his 6th year. born in Radford, Virginia. His team went 8-2 overall. Let's take a look in just a moment after this play about what Dotson feels about the offense. Right now it is 2nd and 10, 11:43 in the first quarter, no score. Woodside with the ball. Bell back, decides to run, throws it, and it's complete. A nice catch right there by the Wolverines. Going out of bounds is number 30, Jared Dietrich. All right, let's talk about Dotson in the passing game.
Phoebus is a very, very good football team. They're always very physical. What I think we did is came out and we got physical with them. And that's something that I think you have to do to beat Phoebus. You have to come out and be physical and try to play their game to that extent.
We'll see how Dotson and Willie Bell can counter as you see Bell right now in the shotgun against the 8-man front of Phoebus. All right, here's Bell again. This time he's in trouble, and he gets stopped cold by the Phantoms. Good defensive play by Bill D's team right there for Phoebus.
Well, Willie Bell, we've known he's been quick, he's been elusive all season, but this is a team you cannot run against. You talk about an 8-man front, you got to talk about Stephen Friday, the senior defensive end, another all-district selection from last year. He's very big, very strong, and very quick as well. They're going to have a hard time, doing that trickery against this team.
Chris, this is a big opening drive for Woodside's confidence.
Well, Greg, you're absolutely right. This is something that they need to do. They need to show that they can move the ball, and they're not afraid of this Phoebus Phantoms team.
2nd and 9, 10:55 left in the first quarter. Bell to throw. It's got time. Complete to number 1, Stephon Welsh, across the 40 before being stopped in the play by number 12, Brent Vincent. For Woodside, coached by Danny Dotson, Phoebus leads the series 8-1. You see right there, Stephon Welsh. Danny Dotson, born in Radford, Virginia, went to Wayne Mary as a walk-on.
Here, what you're going to see right now, Greg, this is something Woodside needs to do all night. Stephon Wells, just a nice little quick 5 or 6 yard out, makes himself available for the pass from Willie Bell and does a great job picking up yardage.
10:47 left in the first quarter. Woodside with the ball. Of course, Danny Dotson, the coach of Woodside, has been an assistant with the Apprentice School, Ferguson, and Western Branch. He's been the head coach at Craig County, loves to golf and fish. His wife, Teresa, and them have got 2 kids, 1 on the way. And, of course, Nate, we're seeing a lot of that wing T offense so far, trying to counter against Bill D's 8-man front. There he is, Bill D, the coach of Phoebus, in his 20th year. That is not him right there. That's one of the assistant coaches.
And it looks like they were talking about the band right there.
There's Willie Bell on this keeper. Not much room again. Good stop on the play by number 5 for Phoebus, Stephen Moss, Nate.
Absolutely good job right there on the defensive side. And I think the assistant was talking to the band because they were so loud and so boisterous while Woodside was trying to call their plays. I think they might have been warned about that by the officials.
There's Willie Bell right there, number 7. Woodside, of course, won the state championship in basketball. There's Bill D. Lives in Newport News in his 20th year as the head coach of Phoebus. 12 times to the postseason he's been. Won the state championship in 2001 and 2002. Trying to get some more looks at Bill as the game goes on. 2nd and 9. Bell from the shotgun. He's got time. Throws it. Incomplete. Wide open, Chris, with Stephon Welsh.
Well, that's something that Willie Bell's going to have to do. He's going to have to get his throws down if he's going to be wide open like that.
We're going to take a look and see what Dotson says more about the passing and the offense.
Laid. And that wasn't necessarily the game plan at that particular time. It was just, what happened. We were successful with it, and, that helped us win that football game, so I'm sure we'll look at that again.
All right, 3rd and 9. Bell throws it complete to the bread and butter man, Stephon Welsh, number 1. The junior, and one thing about Welsh, now he's got good hands. He's also the backup quarterback.
Right, so Welsh knows this offense, 6'3", 175. You're going to see this play all night long, folks. They're doing a great job. Well, like we said, Welsh just goes out about 6 or 7 yards, knows where the marker is. Bell, all he has to do is get it to him, and all Welsh has to do is fall forward, and you pick up another first down.
And that was Aaron Ward on the stop of the play. Also the quarterback right now, 1st and 10. Woodside trying to run the ball. That's what they do best. They're at Phoebus's 47-yard line going right to left. No score in the first quarter. The Wolverines keep it on the run. Nice run up the middle. Burst of daylight and speed. And a great run by number 22, Daryl Cooper. The best run of the game so far, Chris.
Well, they just caught Phoebus off guard right there. They caught guys. They were back expecting the pass, and as you're going to see right here, they just caught them off guard.
Well, this is what happens, Chris. When you work that little short passing game, you soften up the interior defense, and right there what we're seeing, Cordero Cooper just had a nice hole, was able to pick up some yardage and use the speed. And their number 2 for Phoebus, Denathan Robinson, just saved the touchdown, folks.
That's right. You talk about going in the game. There's Bill D right there talking to his defense, saying focus. It's one and done. And Bill D right there, born in the tri-state area of New York, New Jersey, went to Mansfield State. He's a pretty low-maintenance guy, likes the pro-I offense, the 8-man front defense. His strengths, of course, are the running game and resiliency. Of course, you'll be seeing his big-time running back, Ilan Lewis, coming up. The weakness, he told me Tuesday when I went by to talk to him, was the consistency in giving up the big play. The big loss from last year, Nate, was their center, Anthony Robinson. But that gentleman right there who lives in Newport News won the state championship in 2001 and 2002 with a lot of these players.
Right, and you mentioned, going before the game, there's really not a whole lot of weaknesses with Phoebus, but if there is anything, it's giving up that big play, and we just saw it to Cordero Cooper.
All right, 9:19 left in the first quarter. Woodside looking good on the drive. Running and passing very well. From the shotgun is Willie Bell, number 7. Has time, he throws it. Incomplete, intended for Stephon Welsh. Good coverage by Aaron Ward, and we're seeing Ward going both ways is also the quarterback.
Right, most of these players on Phoebus are going both ways, offense and defense, except for Ilan Lewis. You can't risk the commodity like that. But we've seen some great plays right now by Willie Bell, Chris. Him and Stephon Welch are trying to get on the same page. But they're also mixing in the run. With the loss of Wickfall, how do you think that's helping them out right now, in terms of what they had to do to make adjustments?
Well, they've got two different styles of runners here. They got Cordell Cooper, who's a speedy running back, and you got Wickfall, who's got a lot of power. What they need to do is they need to keep mixing that up with the run and the pass.
There's Bell's throw. It's caught. It's touchdown. Stephon Welsh.
Wow.
They're saying no touchdown, but it is. Great catch by Stephon Welsh in the corner.
Unbelievable.
That's 6-zip. Woodside up early with 9:08 in the first quarter.
Let's take a look at this, folks. You're going to see Willie Bell to Welsh. Well, you see Welsh, of course he pushed off, but right there, he caught the ball. We don't know if he had the control going down, but the refs gave him that signal. 6 points on the board for the Woodside Wolverines.
And kicking will be Joey Tutone, number 58. 5'9", 180-pound junior. The extra point is up, and it is no good. No good. The Phoebus player says Welsh did not make the catch in bounds, but he sure did, Nate.
Right. Well, first of all, he pushed off, and he probably had a problem with that too. But also, this isn't like the NFL where you got to get 2 feet in. This is college. You got to have control, get 1 foot in, and it's good. And I think we saw Stephon Welsh did that.
You just need 1 foot in. That's exactly right. 6-0 Woodside on the Stephon Welsh touchdown from Willie Bell. So the Wolverines, who won it 14-13 on October 4th, are trying to pick up that momentum from that last game a month and a half ago, Chris. And Woodside lost their big running back last year. The big loss was Brian Holmes. And, of course, like you mentioned, without Joakim Wickfall tonight.
Well, that's one of the things Woodside does, Greg, is this year they've mixed different runners in. As you see Coach Danny Dotson right there, he has a very good style of running. Last year he had 1 good runner. This year he's got multiple good runners that pick up the slack for what they lost last year.
Absolutely. And Cooper is only a junior, and Wickfall is only a sophomore. So Woodside gets some confidence early on, trying to get their energy level up. 6-0. The biggest thing we've got to see tonight is stop the run, special teams right now. Of course, the experience factor is very important. Turnovers, play hard for 48 minutes, and, of course, penalties, the clock, pride, and it's a big rivalry too as well. And Newport News versus Hampton School.
Absolutely. It's that pride that you bring into it. Anytime you get a Hampton School coming down here in the Todd Stadium, it's going to have that playoff atmosphere.
That play, the touchdown, was 11 plays, 91 yards, 2 minutes and 42 seconds.
Very impressive drive. Thanks
to the Todd Stadium crew for that. 9:08 left in the first quarter. Chris, what do you think about the field? It's held up pretty much since it's in week 11.
Yeah, well, you're going to get your wears and tears on a field like this, especially when you got so many good games like we have in the Peninsula District. But, they've done a good job with it, the grounds crew here at Todd Stadium.
Let's take a look at the district standings, Nate and Chris. How they finished off during the year. We'll see it, the kickoff in just a moment. There they are. Hampton right there all by themselves, number 1 in the right there. And, of course, Hampton was number 5 in the state. Verine out of Richmond was number 1 in the state. Woodside and Phoebus both 7-2 and 8-2 overall. Then you see Bethel did not make it. Kickingham and Denby were both at 500 at 5-5. Heritage and Warwick at 4-6 overall. And on the bottom, Gloucester at 1-9 and Menchville 0-10. Their standings right there. Complete. 3 teams from the Peninsula District makes the postseason this year, as opposed to 2 last year, Hampton and Phoebus. It's Hampton, Phoebus, and Woodside this year. Here come the Phantoms. There he is, the big-time runner, Ilan Lewis. Across the 40. Talk about special teams. Already across the 50. And Aaron Ward and company will have the ball in good field position for Phoebus. Phoebus in the blue and gold. He'll be playing right there for Frank Beamer next year.
That's a great find right there for Virginia Tech. And here you see on the kickoff, not only can Lewis beat you in the running game, Greg, but in special teams, he's a very dangerous returner. Just finds the seam right there. The blockers are ahead of him, and they're able to take that in for a big gain. He's just so powerful and compact, only 5'9", but he's got that strength and he's got that speed. 55
degrees tonight, 8:58 left. Phoebus going left to right with the ball. There's Lewis on the right, across the 45 to about the 44. The quarterback is Aaron Ward. We saw Donathan Robinson on the defensive coverage, number 2, of course, in the last series for Phoebus. Phoebus on offense likes the pro eye. Let's see what Bill D says about his offense.
Well, we're not going to deviate much from what we've done in the past. We're going to try to just play a little better than we did last time, execute a little better, and just do the best we can. I mean, we worked hard all season, and this is where you want to be.
Phoebus keeping on the round right there, and D's not changing his offense much. He's kept the pro eye, Nate, for 20 years. Bill D, the coach of Phoebus, was an assistant high school at Greene High School in Greene, New York. Then he was an assistant at Denby for a while in the late 70s under Matt Boone. Then he was been the head coach at Southampton High School and at Phoebus since 1985. 12 postseasons for the blue and gold. And as Phoebus up the middle, Lewis, pretty much simple. Phoebus likes to run.
Absolutely, and when you got a guy like Ilan Lewis in the backfield, why would you go away from that? He's already broken Antoine Womack's Peninsula District record for career rushing yards. Very strong, very powerful. For Woodside to contain him, though, what they've got to do is work him to the inside, work him to the interior of that defense, because if he gets to that corner and he gets outside, he's too fast for a linebacker and he's too big for a defensive back, Greg. There's no way to stop him.
There's a pigskin football. Wilson. Lewis had 2,006 yards for the year, 29 touchdowns. There he is again. He's got daylight across the 15 to the 10. Good run by the Phantoms. Ilan Lewis. It'll be a big pressure for Woodside's defense that likes the 5-5-2.
Well, another thing is their defensive line's really small, and they've been pushed around the last couple games, and that's really with Ilan Lewis, who's a power runner like that.
And there you see, like you said, they pushed him around, go straight up the gut, straight up the middle, and, it's all they can do to stop him from scoring that touchdown right there.
Reminds me so much of Blair Thomas that played for Penn State in the early 90s under Joe Paterno. Same type of runner. Big, sturdy running back. There he is again, number 38, and a stop right there by Willie Bell. And we see a lot of players going both ways. We wonder how fatigue will be a factor in Week 11.
Absolutely, but it's a cliche that you see Coach Dotson. It's a cliche, guys, but there's no holding anything back. At this point in the season, you're one and done. If you lose, you're going home. If you win, you go on to the next round. And so, they can't hold anything back, any minor injuries, anything like that. They're going to forget it for the next, hour or whatever, because this is what it's all about. It's on the line tonight.
48 minutes. Phoebus is averaging 42 points a game on offense, only giving up 9 on defense. They've already given up 6 tonight. Option to Lewis. Will he get in? Close. They're saying touchdown. We got a tie ball game. Ilan Lewis and Phoebus make it 6-all.
Great move on that option. They had the defense totally fooled. Here you're going to see good move right there by Ward. Just goes to that nice option pitch, and Lewis looked like his foot might have been out of bounds, but they're going to give him the 6 anyway, so a questionable call for Woodside, questionable call for Phoebus. It all evens out, folks.
The big thing, though, Phoebus got an excellent kicker, Chris Swartz, 6'4", 220-pound senior, and with this one extra point, Chris, they can take the lead. You know about that being a soccer player, and here's the extra point by Swartz. Kick is up, and it is good. And a nice hold right there by number 3, Aaron Ward.
Well, we saw Swartz warming up before practice, and, he was there. You see the score is 7-6 to Phoebus. He was kicking him in from 50 yards, Greg. Great kicker.
All right, folks, it's 7-6 in favor of Phoebus. All right, let's now go down on the field with an interview.
I'm Cedric Hall, reporting live from Channel 47. I'm here with Athletic Director for Woodside, Mr. Al Dorner. How are you doing today?
Doing well.
All right, first off, I want to congratulate you on making your Woodside's ever playoff appearance.
First ever in football, yeah, it's great. Kids deserve it. They played hard all year, 8-2, had a good season.
That's good. And I want to go into what was the attitude of the players going into last week's practice in preparation for this game?
I think they were down a little bit because we didn't perform very well against Hampton last week. But then, you had to get ready for Phoebus. You can't worry about Hampton. We got to play Phoebus this week, and they were up. I mean, they knew that we'd beat them early. We'd beat them earlier in the season, so they felt pretty confident.
Okay, and my next question: How did the coaching staff balance the academics and the athletic schedule of the players?
Well, we have regularly scheduled study halls and tutorials, so 2 days a week before they even go to practice, they're in tutorials and study hall for an hour before they even go. So, we're trying to get it done on that end as well.
Thank you for your time, Mr. Dorner. Good luck on the game. I'm Cedric Hall. Let's take it back to the booth.
All right, Cedric, thanks a lot for that interview right there with Al Dorner, the athletic director of Woodside, a former track coach as well. Phoebus leading it 7-6 over Woodside.
Just to let you know, Greg, on that last drive, it was 6 plays, 48 yards, 2 minutes and 30 seconds, and then Phoebus finished it off with that pitch to Ilan Lewis to take the lead.
All right, it is 1st and 10 on the 24. Woodside down by 1, going right to left in the wing T offense, facing that 8-man front of Bill D. And there's Cooper, not much running room there. Woodside, their assistant coaches are Alvin Felton, Glenn Tidwell, Mark Richards, Jerome Rhodes, Billy Canides, Daryl Freeman, and Jason Stroop. Of course, Woodside beat Phoebus 14-13 on October the 4th. The strengths for Woodside have been the size and the running game. Of course, the weakness has been the line play. Danny Dotson will tell you that in a heartbeat. But they're playing solid so far on offense. It's just the defensive line. 5:45, Willie Bell. He's in trouble, but he gets out of it. A nice run before being stopped by number 11 for the Phantoms, Matt Wright. Good run right there. Good second effort, Chris, by Bell.
Well, that shows his senior leadership and experience right there. He realized that the pocket was closing, so he did something fast, and he got him some extra yards.
Absolutely. There you see the pocket collapses around him, so he takes something, makes it, does a great job picking up the yardage, takes a big hit from Wright, but is able to hold on to the ball and pick up positive yardage, and that's what Woodside needs to do to stay in this ball game.
You see Bill D right there. Lives in Newport News, 12 postseasons. Has one son who goes to Menchville. His mentor was Frank Pazaya, born in the tri-state area. There's Bell running, throwing. And that was a catch right there by number 30, Jared Dietrich.
Very smart play by Willie Bell. Was able to draw the defense. They thought he was going to try to turn that corner and run. Right before he got to the line of scrimmage, he was able to dump it off to Dietrich, pick up a good play.
Of course, the Newport News School versus Hampton School. During the year, it was a little bit better than last year, Nate. The Newport News Schools were 0-20 last year, but this year they were 3-17. Woodside, of course, beat Kickoff and Phoebus. Warwick was the other team that beat Kickoff for the Newport News Schools' wins over the Hampton Schools. Incomplete. Nice pass, though, intended for Stephon Welsh.
Great job on defense by number 12, Brent Vincent.
All right, folks, set your VCRs, everybody. This game will be shown again this coming Wednesday on Channel 47 at 7 p.m. Watch it then and watch it live now. Remember, if you can't catch it then, go to our website, WPNB.com, and you can order a copy of the game. We'll be seeing you more for Channel 47's coverage of high school sports in January when our focus goes to basketball. Check out our website, WPNB.com. Bell throws it, complete, nice screen pass. Good catch right there by number 23, Chris Grandison.
Well, they've been working the same play. It doesn't matter if it's Welsh or one of their other players, Chris. They're just working out. The receivers are taking a little 5-step drop, coming around, making that curl, picking up the short yardage, which is opening things up in the middle for Cordero Cooper.
Well, you can't just throw at the one guy every time, and Phoebus is going to pick up on that, as you see right there.
You see right there, he just makes the little curl. Great job right there picking it up, and then uses his feet to pick up some yards after the catch. But if they work this short little dink and dunk system, that's the way you're going to beat an aggressive defense like Phoebus.
It takes away the focus and the pressure since you don't have Yakeem Wigfall here, the passing mixing up with the run. And, of course, you talk about the postseason for the Newport News schools. The last team to make it prior to Woodside was Warwick in 2001. Of course, Heritage made it in 2000, winning the state championship. Menchville last made it in 1993, Denby in 1992. Of course, Warwick in 2001, Woodside this year. Phoebus leads the series 8-1, but Woodside is only 9 years old. Next year will be their 10th anniversary, them and Heritage both. All right, 4:08 left in the first quarter, 7-6 Phoebus. Woodside with the ball in the white, aqua, and black. They're the road team because of the Division V power system. A lot like the BCS, it's confusing. But anyway, great weather tonight. Bell throws it. Great attempt, but a drop pass right there by number 20, Corey Bing. There you see Danny Dotson right there.
Also good coverage by Reggie Norwood. Even if Bing had made the catch, he would have been stopped very quickly for a loss right there.
Dotson, of course, in his 6th year at Woodside. This is the 9th year of Woodside's existence. They've only had 2 coaches. Consistency, Bob Schmidt the first 3 years, and Danny Dotson the last 6. Going right to left. The wing T offense on the shotgun. Willie Bell, number 7, throws it. Up the middle, caught. Good daylight there by Stephon Welsh. Shaking and baking and stopped by number 9, Devont Lindsay. How about the experience factor of Phoebus? They've been there so many times before.
Right, especially a lot of these guys are still from that group that won back-to-back championships. But, you know, Woodside, they're young, and this is what a young, scrappy team can do. Again, Bell to Welsh. Welsh sees the defense, shakes him like a Polaroid picture, and is able to pick up some positive yardage. Stephon Welsh is a playmaker, one of the better receivers in the Peninsula District, and when him and Willie Bell are on the same page together, they can make exciting things happen, and we saw that when Phoebus went down to Woodside early in the year.
3:20 left in the first quarter. Bell again throwing. A lot of throwing tonight by Woodside. And Welsh makes the catch. Yes, he does. And Bill D's got to wonder about his defense, and we're not seeing a TO dance there, but he's got to be pretty happy.
Well, the reason they're able to do this, Greg, is because of the size of Stephon Welsh, 6'3", 175, kind of like that old school Michael Irvin type of player. You know, you just throw it up and let the big fella get it. Here we're going to see it again. And Willie Bell, you just throws it up there. Stephon Welsh does a great job of getting it, makes a nice catch, makes sure his foot is inbounds when he makes it. Woodside is doing a great job here, but they have to keep that pressure on because you can never let up against a team like Phoebus.
The winner will play next Friday night at a site to be determined, the winner of the Booker T. Washington-Hampton game going on tonight at Darling Stadium. Bell up the middle. Does not get in. They're in the red zone now. 3:03 left in the first quarter. It is 7-6 Phoebus. Woodside is playing and driving well. Woodside is averaging 27 points a game on offense, giving up 19. We saw them earlier this year on TV, beating Denby 34-6, and also Warwick 16-7. There's the football right there. The grass not exactly green, but I tell you, November 19th, it's holding up pretty well. Here it is, 2nd and 1. Bell up the middle. Will he get it? We'll see the official mark.
Doesn't look like it.
Nothing called yet. Will it bring up a 3rd down? It looks like it will. So tough right here in the red zone, Chris.
Well, that's because you have less space to work with the same amount of players. It's really easy for the defense when you get into this situation.
2 minutes left in the first quarter. 3rd and 1.
I think right about now would be a good time for a play action, Greg. You know, you fake like you're going up the middle and then hit Stephon Welsh in the corner because he's so tall, so powerful. He can make that catch and get some points on the board.
140. There's the quarterback keeper. This time it's good. Willie Bell scores. And it is 7-6. Now it is 12-7. Touchdown, Woodside, and all is good in Newport News.
Willie Bell on the QB keeper doing a great job just leading Woodside on that drive right there, just with his hands, with his feet, with his arm, just, showing that senior leadership that we've talked about. And there you see right there, the QB keeper straight up the middle, the offensive line doing their job, score for Woodside.
Chris, it was so quick you could barely see it.
Well, I blinked and I missed it. It was really quick, Greg, and this is one of the things that this is a different Woodside team than what we've seen coming out the last couple of games, guys.
All right, folks, it's 12-7. There's Bill D right there, a little upset. His team is down by 5, and Woodside's going to go for 2. It's a big 2-point conversion for Danny Dotson's team.
Smart decision.
Bell up the middle. Looks like he got it. He does.
He got it.
So Willie Bell has scored 8 points on his own tonight. It's now 14-7 Woodside.
Great job by Willie Bell. Let me tell you about that drive, folks. 14-7, 11 plays, 76 yards, 4 minutes and 49 seconds. They're using the clock, and that's what's keeping Woodside in this game right now because they're not giving Ilan Lewis a chance to run the ball. He can't run the ball if he's standing on the sideline, and Woodside is doing a great job.
The only thing Woodside doesn't want to do is get in a touchdown versus touchdown contest. They've exposed some vulnerability, though, in Phoebus's defense early on. You see Bell right there, very happy. Okay, folks, you know about our van crew of high school students bringing you coverage of these fine live high school football games. Well, they do a lot more than that. If you're a high school student in the Newport News school system, you can participate in making the programs that air on Channel 47 and explore the career of television production by enrolling in our Television One course. Just ask your counselor, your guidance counselor at school, or call 591-4687, extension 0 for more information. There you go, our fine students and staff at Channel 47. There's Phoebus. They're happy to be on live TV. They're not quite used to that. But this is their first time they've been on live TV, and I know they're happy about it. Uh-oh, Lewis fumbling. He's still got it back. Oh, my goodness. He's got some room. He's still on his feet like a bulldozer. Ilan Lewis.
Almost looked like he was planning that, the way that he's fumbled around with the ball, but as soon as he got it, he's still Ilan Lewis, and he was able to make a great play happen right there.
Now, Bill D told me he does not go both ways. You will not see Ilan Lewis, number 38, going both ways.
Well, you see, he's scrambling, trying to pick up the ball. What that does is it brings the defense coming down the field. They pass him up, and that allows him to break free without the blockers and pick up a good 15, 20 yards.
You cannot let your guard down against any of these teams in 48 minutes. Lewis up the middle across the 50. Stopped on the play right there by the Wolverines. Phoebus in the blue and gold, Woodside in the white, black, and aqua. Newport News Schools versus Hampton. Of course, Woodside beat them on October the 4th, and that game was originally scheduled, Nate, for October the 2nd, but had a rain delay, and they had to come back on a Monday night. Kind of awkward for both teams.
Right. Both teams were kind of suffering from that, but, anytime you have a short week, you just got to play that much harder. And these two teams out there, they have a lot of heart. You want to give credit to both teams, but we're going to see who has the most heart tonight.
All right. Right there, a run by another Phantom. And that is number 5 right there, Stephen Moss. He's still on his feet across the 10, and Moss is well into the red zone of Woodside. Good shaking and baking by number 5, Stephen Moss. 6 foot, 210-pound senior.
Oh, there was a fumble, but they were able to recover it. But Moss did a great job, like you mentioned, just running down that field.
The assistants for Phoebus are Stan Sexton, Greg Narvid, Bob Sislow, Greg Day, Dickie Van Dyke, James Holbert, Ron Johnson, Scott Snyder, Jamar Joel, colors blue and gold.
And here you see the fake to Ilan, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, there you see Moss doing a great job. Stephon Moss, so fast, so powerful, fumbles at the end of the play right there, but they are able to recover it. Phoebus ball within the 10.
1st and 4, there's Lewis. Will he get in? It'll be close. So the score right now, 14-7. In favor of Woodside after that 2-point conversion by Willie Bell.
They're going to put it on the 1. He didn't get in.
We have 16 seconds left in the first quarter, almost the end of the first quarter. They might get one play off. They might not. It'll be close. You'll see the pigskin right there on the 1-yard line. 5 seconds. 4. They're going to get it. And Ward will do a quarterback sneak and get in. And Phoebus is now down by 1 point. With 0.4 seconds left, a big crowd on hand tonight at Todd Stadium. Aaron Ward, 6'2", junior, 170-pound. Phoebus Phantom, number 3.
unbelievable right there. Here you're going to see the clock is running down. They're trying to get a playoff, and Ward does a great job just following his blockers, getting into the end zone. And we've seen 4 scores in 1 quarter, guys.
14-13. Here's the extra point by Swartz. Kick is up, and we have a tie ball game. It's 14-all.
And Swartz is just automatic from within there going for the PAT. And Chris, you know, like I said, who would have expected it to be a shootout so far this early? You thought it was going to be a defensive struggle, but both defenses have looked kind of suspect so far.
Well, the first game, it was a defensive struggle, Nate. And this time, you know, both teams, they've watched film and they found the other team's weakness, and they're exploiting it tonight.
14-all. Quite a ball game. A lot of scoring so far. Still in the first quarter. We have 4/10 of a second left. It's been a long first quarter, too. They played over 30 minutes. We're at Todd Stadium in Newport News, Virginia, on Channel 47. Greg Bickaveris, Nate Milton, Chris Amick, glad you are with us. See the Phoebus cheerleaders from right off there off Woodland Road in Hampton, Virginia. Talk about state championships, too, as well. Mike Smith is 111. Dennis Kozlowski was at Bethel, 1-3. Bill D is 1-2. He's out here tonight. And John Quillen, who just retired from Heritage, won back in 2000. Here's the kick by Swartz. And Woodside will take it to the 10. This will be the last play of the first quarter. And that was number 20, Corey Bing, and he goes down. All right, folks. Right now, the score is 14-all, Woodside and Phoebus. We'll be back after this.
Give me a fish, and you'll feed me for a day. Teach me to fish, and you'll feed me for a lifetime.
Through Volunteers of America, you can help change lives in your community. Find out what you can do. Give us a call.
Year after year, the good folks at Domino's Pizza have been feeding the Channel 47 van crew. The staff and students of Channel 47 would like to thank Domino's for their support. You can enjoy Domino's Pizza right now by calling 599-3003 to have Domino's feed your crew.
I want to thank Domino's, too. This is our 4th game of the year, our 55th overall in football since 91. And Domino's has been right there with us, Heather and Patrick, right there, and J. Clyde Morris, 599-3003. Provided us with 7 pizzas tonight. Great people at Domino's. Great wings, too.
Absolutely. You know, go call them up right now. This game is going to be to the wire, folks. Give them a call right now. Ask for that Heather special. And, you know, just enjoy this. Again, that number is 599-3003. You call up Domino's. They've supported us, so support them.
Couldn't have said any better. 12-minute quarters. There's Bill D right there. Lives in Newport News. In fact, only lives a mile away from me, almost like a neighbor. And there's Willie Bell. Throws it up the middle. Complete to Stephon Welsh. What a great combination that is. Bell and Welsh. Excellent combination for Woodside. They're tied up. And right now we're seeing offense trying to match defense and defense trying to match offense like a chess game.
Yeah, both of these defenses have, like I said, they've had their weaknesses exploited. There you see right across the middle, Stephon Welsh. Great job. He knows he's going to take the hit, tucks the ball in, and he and Willie Bell have just been on the same page tonight. I haven't seen them play this well in a long time.
They're focused. They had to bring their A game tonight after losing last week to Hampton 47-13. From the shotgun, Woodside going left to right in the second quarter. It's 14-all. There's Cooper, nowhere there. Looks a little sluggish. Good stop on the play by number 11. That was Matt Wright for Phoebus.
Well, if you're going to run against Phoebus, you got to hit that hole hard. You can't allow the play to take that long to develop because their front 4 are just too quick, Greg.
Other Division V Eastern Region game going on at Darling Stadium, Booker T. Washington versus Hampton. Of course, Wark beat Booker T this year early. It all started for Woodside when they beat Norcom 12-5 right there with Danny Dotson. They beat Gloucester 43-21 and beat Denby 34-6, second game of the year. Bell throws it incomplete. Then they beat Phoebus 14-13, Wark 16-7. Then they started getting a little vulnerable. They beat Heritage, but it was close, 29-22, and lost to Bethel 45-29.
Right. You know, I think that people just started catching up to them towards the end of the year, but I think that first win against Phoebus really kind of put them on the map as a legitimate contender.
Bell throwing a lot tonight. Up the middle, great catch right there by the Wolverines. Very focused, number 8, Javon Shaw. Willie Bell was throwing like a man I've never seen before.
And Shaw is a big target, 6'2", almost 200 pounds, and he was able to catch that pass and then just roll over his defenders right there.
Great offensive line play by Brian Stroop right there. And, of course, Brian's an excellent Boy Scout, too.
Right, well, he didn't look like a Boy Scout right there.
No.
Javon Shaw, he looked like a man possessed right there, was able to make the catch. And like we said, Greg, they are just clicking on all cylinders right now. Willie Bell is really stepping up tonight.
Woodside's offense is playing awesome tonight, but so is Phoebus. Here it is, 14-all. Bell, number 7, throws it again. Nice spiral pass. Oh, right in the hands. Could have had a better catch, but he dropped it. Number 20, Corey Bing. Then Woodside beat Menchville 49-8, beat Kickoff 39-16, but fell to Hampton 47-13.
There's no shame in losing to Hampton. There's Coach Dotson, because I don't think anybody's going to beat Hampton this year. But here you see just another great pass right there. Willie Bell is just in the zone, sees the receiver downfield, and right there, Jared Dietrich, you got to catch it if it touches your hands. Excuse me, that not Dietrich, Corey Bing.
And Bill D told me the Phoebus coach does not want to give up the big play. That's been their weakness this year. Of course, their big loss for Phoebus was Anthony Robinson, their center. Phoebus only giving up 9 points a game on defense, already giving up 14 tonight. There's Cooper. He got some daylight up the middle. Good run by Codero Cooper, stopped by number 5 for Phoebus, respectively Stephen Moss. 14-all with 10:06 remaining till halftime.
And Woodside is just, they're doing the things that they have to do right now. They're mixing in a run every now and then just to keep the defense honest. But really, it's been all about Willie Bell tonight. Willie Bell has just been on top of his game. Like we said, he's done it with his arm, he's done it with his feet, and he's especially doing it with his mind. He's reading the defense, and he's making the passes he needs to play, Greg.
Woodside's had some great pass players, Nate, like Reggie Johnson, Mondo Davis, Elliot Holmes, Billy Canides, Brian Holmes, Chris Fuquay. This group of Woodside Wolverines that actually went 8-2 2 years ago are playing very solid tonight. Bell, all the time in the world, throws in the corner. It's complete for a touchdown. Stephon Welsh, we've got a barn burner tonight, folks. Keep it here on 47.
Stephon Welsh with a great job, like we said, all night. He's got the height. Oh, they missed the high five, but he didn't miss that touchdown all night. Here you're going to see, Greg, Willie Bell just leading the way, sees up top Stephon Welsh. Welsh has the speed, he has the height. He makes that play with ease, and it's just unbelievable what they're doing right now, Chris.
Well, that was also, don't forget, that was a great throw by Willie Bell as well.
Bell is throwing awesome tonight, and his energy level is way up. 20-14 Woodside. Big extra point coming up. Joey Two-Tone kicks it up, and it is good. So, with 9:30 left to intermission, it is now Woodside 21, Phoebus 14 in the second quarter, live Division 5 Eastern Regional Semifinal on Channel 47. Greg Bickaveris, Nate Milton, Chris Amick, glad you're with us. Willie Bell during the year, Nate, broke the 1,000 mark through for 1,095 yards, 10 touchdowns. Welsh had 536 yards catching and 9 TDs.
Unbelievable.
All right, folks, the show that I've been hosting, Newport News Sports Highlights, airs on Mondays at 7 p.m. and Saturday mornings at 9 on Channel 47. We feature local coaches, and both these coaches have been on before, Dotson and D. Keep you informed about the local sports scene. Newport News Sports Highlights, 7 p.m. Mondays and 9 a.m. Saturdays on Channel 47. All right, folks, 9:30, and our guest this month are David Squires of the Daily Press and also Hugh Spain of Christopher Newport's former tennis team. 9:30 left, 21-14, Woodside in the driver's seat for this time being. And it goes out of bounds. You remember, Nate, the old Newport News versus Hampton rivalry. It was a big drop-off there, but then it was all the other different rivalries. Phoebus' big rivalry is Hampton, but Woodside's got some good rivalries against pretty much all the Newport News schools, and now with them winning against the Hampton schools.
It being so new, and especially, like we said, they're executing on offense. That last drive was 7 plays, 76 yards, 2 minutes, 30 seconds. But Woodside, like we said, they're really just kind of finding their way. They don't have that hated rivalry like a Menchville-Denby or like a Warwick Heritage, but they're making things happen, and they're one of the up-and-coming teams in our district. Absolutely.
You talk about Phoebus, how they started their season off kind of shaky against Woodrow Wilson, 23-7. Boy, then they lit it up. Kickoff 42-6. Denby 48-0. Then they got a gut check, losing to Woodside 14-13. Beat Heritage 62-6. Menchville 62-0. Lost to Hampton 33-22. Beat Gloucester 69-0. Gave Warwick a 10-0 lead and beat them 57-10. And last week they beat Bethel 30-20. You see the football right there to close out the regular season 8-2. But 12 postseasons out of 20 for Bill D.
Yeah, unbelievable. You know, we talk a lot about the back-to-back championships, but it's just the mark of consistency, and that ball's going out of bounds again.
60% and the flag goes down again. Again, the referee, if you're just joining us, Don Sandy, his fine crew. This is the Southeastern Football Officials Association. The umpire, Jim Curry. Tom Cantrell is the linesman. Jeff Hyatt, the line judge. Sign judge, Maurice Davis. There you see Donald Sandy. Field judge, Bill Davis. Back judge, Phil Stenstrom.
And you can't do this, Greg. You can't give them free yardage. You know, what they're doing is giving them free yardage without any clock. If you're the kicker, you just have to put it straight down the middle. You know it's going to Lewis. I know they're trying to keep away from him, but you don't want to kick it out of bounds.
21-14. Woodside have to kick it again on special teams. Chris, this would become a little repetition, but Woodside's got to stay focused.
Well, like Nate was saying, they're trying to kick it away from Ilan Lewis, and you can't blame them, but they do. They need to keep the ball in bounds because all they're doing is they're backing themselves up even more.
9:30 left. There's the football. Great to play football. This is not exactly two-hand touch out here. This is tackle football tonight, Nate.
Absolutely. And, you know, there's another flag on the play right there.
All right, folks. I want to take this time, the moment right now. It's been a year ago today that we lost a dear friend, Gail Price, the wife of Ray Price. Longtime family member. They have 3 wonderful kids, Sam Price, Regina Price, and Mike Price, who's doing camera work out here. Ray's been a dear friend. Channel 47's been there since 1992. Him and Gail started their life together in California. She was from the Denver, Colorado area. Beautiful woman. She lost her life a year ago today. In fact, her obituary reminder was in the Daily Press today, and may her memory be eternal. Gail Price, who passed away a year ago today.
Absolutely. That's a great sentiment, you know, especially I've known Ray Price for about 10 years, not only as a coworker, as a colleague, but as a teacher and a friend. And, you know, that loss was felt by all of us here at Channel 47.
Yes, it was. And Phoebus will have it right there. And the Phantoms, Ilan Lewis, getting close to the 45-yard line. They're all trying to do their T.O. impressions tonight, huh, Nate?
We're going to see if anybody's going to come out with some pom-poms or maybe dance in the middle of the field. But I think both of these teams are focused. And the interesting thing is Ilan Lewis, we know he's a dangerous person for Phoebus, but they really haven't shown very much else besides Ilan Lewis. And if they can somehow just, you know, we'll allow Lewis to get 100 yards tonight, but we're not going to let anybody else score. Woodside might be able to pull us out.
Woodside won by 1 point. They'll take it again if they can get it tonight, but so will Phoebus. 1st and 10 at the 44, 9:22 left in the second quarter. Lewis to about the 49-yard line. Gain him, like we mentioned earlier, stop the run, special teams, the experience factor. Phoebus has got it. Play hard and limit those turnovers, and clock management is very important. Woodside's done a great job with clock management.
Right. Well, if you put these two teams side by side and looked at it on paper, Phoebus really should be better than Woodside on every aspect, but that's why they play the games, Greg. You can't put a measure on heart.
There's Lewis, absolutely. Good stop right there by number 30 for the Wolverines, Jared Dietrich. Of course, Phoebus likes the pro-high offense, and Woodside likes the 5-2 defense. They had a 4-4 back in 2002. Phoebus averaging 42 points a game on offense. Their biggest rivalry is Hampton, who they lost to earlier this year, 33-22. They've got the ball, 3rd and 5. Running from the pro-I. Going right to left in the blue and gold, the Phantoms. Number 3, Aaron Ward, throws it, the junior. It's complete for a first down and more. He's got daylight. That's number 12 right there. Brent Vincent, touchdown.
Wow.
Touchdown, Phoebus.
Amazing.
Great job right there. We just mentioned they've got to find some other way to score, and Aaron Ward said, I got an answer for you. We're going to kick it out to my man, number 12, Brent Vincent. Vincent, 6'2", 175 pounds, tall, athletic, powerful. Here you're going to see. They do a great job, the line protecting him. All he has to do is pitch it up. They're playing a simple game of pitch and catch, nice little slant. And Lewis just using his speed right there. He's just accelerating, track-like speed, and nobody can catch him. And this game is far from over, folks.
Brent Vincent right there, 6'2", 175-pound junior. And the band is going wild. Again, remember, Phoebus is the home team, although Woodside plays all their games in Newport News.
Unbelievable.
Here's the extra point by number 33, Chris Swartz. Flag on the play.
We've got a flag on the play there, folks. But, Chris, that was just a great play right there to Vincent, and that's just what they needed. You can't stop Ilan Lewis. Well, we've got something else for you.
Well, you know, that just makes life more difficult for Woodside's defense. Now Phoebus has two weapons that they can use, and who would have thought we'd be watching a shootout right now, getting ready to, it's 21-20, getting ready to maybe be 21-21.
And look how quick it took for them to get back, folks. Only 3 plays, Greg, and 56 yards. Just took about a minute or so off the clock. They were able to do that damage right there, and Vincent with the big play.
All right, 21-20. Okay, stay with us at halftime. In our quick snaps, we'll find out what hot rods and the Wark Band have in common. That is a feature you would have seen last week that we had not been rained out. And we'll get a chance to hear from Woodside basketball coach John Richardson, as well as seeing the Phoebus Phantom marching band. Coming up at halftime. Stay tuned. 21-20 is the score. And right now it is Woodside with the lead. But we've seen a lot of touchdowns tonight. Great catch right there and a great pass by Brent Vincent. But it's like a shootout. It's like the old run and shoot tonight. It's just a old Texas-style football game. But, you know, I saw that movie Friday Night Lights. Let me say, the football in Michigan and Ohio and Pennsylvania and Florida are just as good as Texas. When's the last time Texas won the national championship?
Absolutely. You know, there are football hotbeds all around the country. There you see Bill D. and Hampton Roads. People are just now starting to find out about what we've got going on right here, producing players like Iverson, who played football around here, Michael Vick, Aaron Brooks, just a lot of great players from this area.
Phoebus going for 2. Lewis up the middle. Will he get it? It'll be close. No, he did not get it. And Bill D is upset.
Gutsy call from Bill D. And
so early in the game, you're surprised why he did that.
Especially when you've got a kicker as good as Chris Swartz.
There's 1 point's not going to make the difference this early. It might make the difference in the third quarter. And Bill D, from Newport News, record 163 and 53 at Phoebus, 8-2 overall. He's been the head coach at Southampton High School out in the near Emporia area, and also Phoebus since 1985. Phoebus only had a few coaches in their history. He replaced Wade Trainum. Phil Smith also coached this team. Phoebus has scored over 60 times, three times this year. That's a lot, Nate. 3 times. Let's hear what Bill D had to say about his experience.
You know, those guys know what it's like to practice in the postseason. You know, we got to the regional finals last year, so they've been in the playoffs 3 years in a row. So we feel very fortunate to have this group of kids and to be where we are.
All right, there's the kick right there. And the Wolverines have with a 1-point lead. And that was number 9 right there, Farrard Mormon. Woodside's going to have to mix it up a little bit, but they don't want to have a turnover here, Nate.
Right. Well, Woodside, you know, it's kind of been a shootout like you mentioned. You know, the last team with the ball might be the team that comes out with the victory tonight. But what Woodside's got to do is just continue what they've been doing. Work in a little bit of run with Cordero Cooper, and then let Willie Bell do his thing. Stephon Welsh, you can hit him in the flats. Just keep that ball moving down the field.
And big thing is time management, too, as well, Chris.
Well, Woodside hasn't been doing a lot of time management tonight, Greg and Nate. They've been throwing the ball an awful lot, and, you know, sometimes that's a good thing, sometimes that's a bad thing. But so far, you know, they're up by a point. I guess it's proven out to be a good thing so far.
Still plenty of time, 8:02 left to intermission. Woodside with the football left to right. Fumble, but they get it back. Lucky break right there, but loss of yardage by number 30, Jared Dietrich. Woodside, of course, started off their program, if you're not familiar with them, with Bob Schmidt as the head coach. He's now at CNU. He went 0-10 his first year, 96. He got it around to 2-8, 97, 3-6, 98. Then Danny Dotson took over 99, where he went 2-8. Slipped in 2000, went 0-10. Well, you saw that turnaround in 2001. They went 4-6. 2002, they went 8-2. Last year, they slipped to 6-4. This year, they are 8-2. So Dotson's done a great job at Woodside. Wife Teresa and 2 kids, 1 on the way. Willie Bell looking to throw it. He does. Incomplete. He was in trouble, intended for Dietrich. Good coverage right there by the Phoebus Phantoms, number 5, and that was Stephen Moss.
And also a lot of pressure right there by the front four, especially number 70, Tyreek Brickhouse. The senior went in there, and he's just doing his thing, going in there trying to make something happen.
See the crowd right there. There's Bill D, coach of Phoebus, whose team is down by 1 point. Big rival with Mike Smith. He said this is a big defensive stop series for Phoebus if they can do it. Woodside, Bell, he's in trouble, gets sacked. So they'll have to finally punt the ball, something Woodside's not done a lot tonight. So 21-20 is the score. And it is Woodside up by 1 point.
And here you're going to see Willie Bell trying to make something happen up the middle, but he's stopped by that front four, and there's the big hit. Number 20, Chris Tucker, and we're not talking rush hour here, folks. No laughing matter. Gets in there, puts the helmet on Willie Bell, and brings him down for the stop. Excellent third down play.
Sure was, 21-20. And number 1, Stephon Welsh will punt. The junior. Woodside in the white, aqua and black. Phoebus in the blue and gold. Penalty on the Wolverines to go back to the 20. I don't think he'll be doing a fake punt here, Nate.
Absolutely, especially when you got a dangerous returner like Denathan Robinson back there.
Here comes the punt. 4th and 14 from the 20. Woodside going left to right on this special teams punt. There's the punt. Decent punt. Good field position. And Phoebus will have it at their 49. Hey, Chris, how about that military prep that Danny Dotson had his team go to, a little boot camp during the summer?
Well, you know, it does two things. Number one, it creates discipline, and number two, it gets them in shape. I mean, they're in great shape when the season starts. Plus, they've got great discipline on the field.
Don't forget our friend Sonny Dirth has helped us a lot this year. He said you can call him at get other scores at 928-1111 extension 1. All right, it's 1st and 10 at the 50. Phoebus going right to left, down by 1 point. Ilan Lewis up the middle. He's got time. He's got pay dirt. Will he get it? Lewis. Touchdown, Phoebus.
Unbelievable right there. Ilan Lewis, like we said, he is the difference maker in this game. The best player on the field tonight is wearing number 38, Ilan Lewis, up the gut. And here we see it, folks. That offensive line, all they got to do is put a helmet on a helmet, and number 38, Mr. Lewis, is going to do his thing. Best runner that I've seen in a long time in the Peninsula District, using his speed, using his strength, and they're not going to catch it from 10 yards out. We knew it was a touchdown, Greg. Unbelievable run. Ilan Lewis doing his thing, and Phoebus now takes the lead.
Absolutely, Nate. I mean, the kid right there had 2,474 yards rushing last year. This year, 2,006. And now Phoebus is up 26-21. They're going to go for 2. But the way they score so much, Chris, you wonder why they even have to go for 2.
Well, you know, Woodside definitely, they cannot stop the run. And, you know, Phoebus, they're really starting to exploit that now. Ilan Lewis is just, they're absolutely special teams and offensively, he's just killing them on the ground.
Our buddy Mike Wright covering the game for the Daily Press, and I was joking with him before the game. He's from Texas, and he knows about Texas football, and I was saying, how is it compared to the Peninsula District? He says, well, it's getting there, but not quite. And I tell you, after watching that movie Friday Night Lights, that Texas football is intense, to say the least. Here's Aaron Ward, and then right there, handoff to Lewis, untouched. Now they get their revenge back. It's 28-21.
Very smart job right there. And Ilan Lewis, you can't say enough about him. One of the best players in this district, 28-21 to score now, and he has just done it all. And right now, we're going to see what Woodside is made of, guys. They've got to respond off that. Here you're going to see, again, the two-point conversion. Up the gut, Ilan Lewis does a great job running that ball. Now we're going to see what Woodside can do to respond to that. It's time for them to take a gut check.
All right, let's now go live to Cedric.
Thanks, Greg. I'm Cedric Carr reporting live. I'm here with Ms. Jenkins, Phoebus cheerleading captain. Many people don't consider cheerleading as being a real sport. Why is it a sport to you?
I think it's a sport because we put in just as many hours practicing as everyone else, and you can get hurt just as easily as you can do playing football. And like when we go to compete, everyone gives their all and it has their heart in it.
Okay, Phoebus has a reputation of winning all the time. Do you think your cheers contributed into the wins?
I it does because we pump the crowd up to get the football players hype, and they kind of watch us when they're down, and I guess it gives them a boost.
And what about the losses?
We just take them as they come and get over it and go to the next game harder, stronger.
All right, good luck in the rest of the game. Cedric, let's take it back to the booth.
All right, Phoebus on special teams gets a big break right there. Already up 28-21, and right now, Nate, Woodside's starting to unravel a little bit.
Right here, you're going to see the kickoff. All Woodside has to do is right there. He thrown off his game by the way the ball took that hop, and great job by Phoebus to get in there, put a hit on him, and then you're going to see number 32, Corey Hayes, come up with the ball. This is a very definite turning point in this ball game if Phoebus can capitalize on that mistake.
Here comes Lewis again. He's a big-time weapon. I mean, heck, they had Antoine Romack, who ran here back in 1996, who went to Virginia. So many great players at Phoebus, like Antoine Womack and Andre Ross, Nathaniel Adibi, Xavier Adibi, Philip Brown, now playing at Virginia, DJ Parker, P.D. Whitfield, David Brown, Tim Williams. Great players in the past at Phoebus, especially Antoine Womack. And of course, we're seeing one tonight, Ilan Lewis, the two biggest names in that school's history. They've only had 3 coaches. Again, Bill D is a big part of that with Wade Trainum and Phil Smith over the years. Here come the blue and gold Phantoms. Lewis again. And he's a sight to see. He's a treat to watch. Still on his feet.
No.
Touchdown, Phoebus. Unbelievable. 34-21. What a weapon he is. We should use him in Iraq.
Less than a minute, Greg. 2 scores from Ilan Lewis. There you see him shaking his head. They're getting their confidence. They're getting their swagger. What you're going to see right here, I knew once the blockers held their way that this play was going to be bad news for Woodside. Great job of Ilan following his blockers, making some cuts. And he is just too strong to try to arm tackle. If you're going to tackle him, you got to put a helmet on his body. You can't just try to drag him down with your arms because he'll drag you all the way into the end zone.
I mean, you would think we're in the 4th quarter with all the scoring going on. Extra point is up, and it is good. Nice kick right there by number 33, and that was respectively Chris Schwartz.
That is the 3rd touchdown from Ilan Lewis tonight, Greg. 35-21. You see our score there, and Phoebus is starting to take control.
There he is. Ilan Lewis ran for 2,474 yards a year ago. This year, 2006. Already, it's 35-21. All right, folks. The students of Channel 47 make their own show each week. It's 47 Fridays. You can catch it on Channel 47 right here via Cox Cable at 3:30 and 6:30 on Friday. That's 47 Fridays, local television made by students from all our Newport News high schools.
Hey, Greg, let me just let you know how quickly things can change in this game. Those 2 plays on that last drive took all of 49 seconds, and Lewis with the big run, and they were able to score on that. The previous series, 16 seconds. So Phoebus is doing big things here in the second quarter.
Phoebus has scored 35 tonight. They've averaged 42 a game this year, but once again, 3 times they went over the 60 mark this year. And there's Bill D right there. Likes that pro-I offense. Went to Mansfield State where he learned a lot of his football from the tri-state area of New Jersey. Newark right there. Went to school in Pennsylvania. Learned a lot from Frank Pizzaglia. He was an assistant coach, though, at Denby under Matt Boone. Worked with Gary Sylvie, who's now the athletic director of the Newport News school system. I tell you the field here, speaking of Gary Sylvie and Dick Tyson did a great job with Mike Greco and Philip Hunter. What an excellent job in Week 11. This is what you call a football field. Grass, it's excellent. 4:56 till intermission. We'll see if Woodside can get back on board. They're down by 14. Bell, he's got time, throws it. Incomplete, and Chris, Woodside needs to get their composure.
Well, they need to go down the field right here and show Phoebus that, you know what, you guys just went up by 2 touchdowns, but the game's not over yet, and we're still here. But I'm still amazed on how quickly the game's turned around.
Big college games tomorrow. They came back down from last week, but of course Hampton won it 47-13 over Woodside. Woodside's a team of heart and desire. They got a lot of desire, folks. They do not give up. Willie Bell, number 7, throws it. Incomplete. You're wondering, though, how much the depth factor now when you lose a guy like Wigfall.
Absolutely. You can have all the heart and desire you want, but heart and desire is not going to catch a pass for you. Right there, these guys have got to start, getting back to the basics. They, like you said, Greg, they're starting to lose their composure a little bit. It's going to be up to Coach Dodson to really get these guys focused because the game's not over yet. They've still got a long ways to go. They can get back in.
Phoebus leads the series 8-1, and a lot of the Wolverines remember last year where Phoebus beat Woodside 63-20. So Phoebus remembers it, Woodside remembers it, but it's a brand new ball game tonight. But this Woodside team knows Phoebus likes to run and run and run. They can get that score up really quick. Bell throws it. Incomplete. You got to make the catch. Drop pass right there by number 30, Jared Dietrich. Some big college games going on tomorrow, Virginia and Georgia Tech. It is also Michigan and Ohio State playing, Yale and Harvard, and, of course, Richmond and William & Mary, and a big one in the Southeastern Conference, Auburn and Alabama. I'm looking for an upset there. I really think Alabama's going to upset Auburn tomorrow. I'll go on the line with that one, Nate.
Big game. It's rivalry week, so we're going to see. But you talk about rivalries tonight, you might be seeing the start of a new one because Phoebus was definitely not feeling Woodside when they lost earlier this year. And that's all they've been thinking about. 2
punts in a row, and a short punt there by Welsh. And Phoebus having good field position. And Chris Dotson doesn't want to go in the locker room down by 3 touchdowns.
Well, you don't want to go down in the locker room down by 1 touchdown, but this is just, they're going to really have to come out and throw the football a lot. They really need to get back in this ball game.
All right, let's hear what Bill D says about that big offensive line.
Being the next offensive lineman, I think it's always fun to block for a guy like Ilan. If you give good effort, he's going to find a hole. And so, and he's always doing a good job of keeping those guys fired up, and they love blocking for him.
All right, 35-21. Phoebus with the football going right to left in the pro eye. There they go. And the quarterback sneak goes nowhere by number 3 right there, Aaron Ward. And one thing you see on Bill D's hat, we saw during that last soundbite, was he has lost 2 players, unfortunately, that have passed away. Ronnie Hendricks, and about 8 years ago when you were in high school, Nate, Jamel Dennis. And it was very sad that he's lost a couple of quarterbacks, 2 fine players, and lose anybody, student athletes. But he mentioned how good his line is and how important his line is for Ilan Lewis.
Right, and it's the way that you measure a team, how they come back from adversity. And they've done a great job, especially with Ilan Lewis.
There he goes again, but this time he makes the most of a second effort. And right now we have 3:45 left in quarter number 2. It's 35-21 Phoebus. It's 14 all, then it went 21-14, 21-20. Now it's 35-21. Other games going on tonight, Booker T and Hampton going on. Division 6, it's Granby and Oscar Smith. Injured player right there for Phoebus. Deep Creek and Lansdowne. And, of course, Cortland's taking on Lafayette, and Grafton is at Powhatan. So a lot of good Division 4, Division 5, and Division 6 games on tonight. The winner of tonight's game between Phoebus and Woodside will take on Booker T or Hampton next week. Still way too early. Can't get over this nice weather here, 3:38.
Absolutely, Greg. It's excellent weather for some football tonight.
55 degrees. Danny Dotson learned a lot from Joel Hicks up at Pulaski. Woodside's fine principal, Stephanie Houtz. And their athletic director, Al Dorner. He loves to run the football. While Phoebus's principal is Donna Woods. The athletic director is Bill D. and Gerald Gentry. Bill D does a lot of athletic director duties, so it's a tough job for him.
Absolutely, Greg. And there you see the cheerleaders. The reason they have that look of concern on their face, even Bill D does, is because it's not just any injured player. That's Ilan Lewis that was laying on the sideline right there. Finally, they got him up and they got him walking. But if he can't play this game, that changes everything.
Absolutely. There he is, number 38, Ilan Lewis for Phoebus. 5'10", not that big. You see the crowd kind of looking on disbelief. 205 pounds, he's a senior. So it'll bring up 3rd and 4 with 3:38 left in the second quarter. Greg Bickaveris, Nate Milton, Chris Amick, glad you're with us. Our 4th game of the year. Our last game we brought to you was on October 22nd, in which Heritage beat Menchville 28-7. Who knows? And John Quillen told me to break it last week that he was going to step down again. And we'll get Nate's thoughts about that in just a moment. Here comes Phoebus in the blue and gold. And there's a run by number 27 for the Phantoms, and that is Dennis Mathis. 5'9" sophomore, so look to the future. But how about the John Quillen stepping down again? Were you surprised, Nate?
Yes, I was, Greg. You know, and I'm a very big fan of John Quillen just because of what he's done, not only on the football field but off it as well. You know, just leading these young men and really kind of being that mentor for them. But, you know, sometimes you can't go home again. Sometimes it just doesn't work out the way you think. And so, you know, if this is the decision he makes, you know, there's probably a great reason behind it, but it's going to be sad to see him go.
There's a quarterback keeper right there by number 3 for Phoebus, Aaron Ward. And, of course, I think Joe Gibbs is finding out the same thing.
Joe Gibbs, yes.
It's 2:47 left till the first half. Phoebus in control, up 35-21. We've already seen 56 points scored tonight, Chris.
Yeah, I'm at a loss for words after that one. It's completely different from what I expected the game to be.
2:34 left in the second quarter. Aaron Ward, the quarterback, number 3, 270-pound junior. And Phoebus keeping it on the ground right there. Good run by number 5, Stephen Moss.
And Stephen Moss, he's usually the fullback, the blocking back for Ilan Lewis, 6'1", 210 pounds. So he can get it done on the ground. We saw that big run he had earlier in the game.
Phoebus 8-2 overall with Woodside, 7-2 in the district, both teams. It's a rematch of October the 4th in which Woodside, in a low-scoring game, won at 14-13. Timeout by Woodside. Again, it's all about the power points, and that's why Phoebus is the home team. I guess number 1, it was Hampton. Number 2, Phoebus. Number 3, Woodside. Number 4, Booker T in Division 5.
Right. There was no question who number 1 was. It was just a matter of, you know, the difference of points separating 2 and 3 right there. That's why Phoebus is the home team.
All right, folks. Let's take a break and look at Domino's Pizza.
Year after year, the good folks at Domino's Pizza have been feeding the Channel 47 van crew. The staff and students of Channel 47 would like to thank Domino's for their support. You can enjoy Domino's Pizza right now by calling 599-3003 to have Domino's feed your crew.
All right, Domino's Pizza, they have great wings and great beverages and even good breadsticks, too.
Absolutely. They got that new the double milk pizza right there. That's something you folks should give a try. Give them a call right now, 599-3003. And, you know, that's something that'll keep you hot, keep you full tonight. But we're getting full off this football action here on the field. And we're trying to see if Woodside has that heart on the defensive side to step up and make a stop right here.
Absolutely, Nate. It is now 2:14 left. Woodside on defense, Phoebus on offense, going right to left. Number 3, Aaron Ward, the quarterback in the blue and gold. And the Phantoms, number 5 right there on the run, Stephen Moss. Phoebus, Chris, just trying to chew some clock up right now.
Well, that's all you can do, Greg. I mean, that's what they don't want to give up a turnover and then Woodside go down the field and score, or them just give up a turnover and leave themselves out of these points they're trying to get.
Phoebus right now with the 14-point lead, 1:45 to intermission. And Lewis back in the ball game. It's a good break right there for Phoebus. Wow. You want to try not to risk an injury. You're already up by 14. There's only 1:30 left in the first half.
Right. If I was Coach D, I'd probably let Ilan stay on the bench for the remainder of this half because he's too valuable to lose, especially with the lead right now. And he just took a big hit right there, fell back slow to get up. And so, you know, you can't take a risk with a guy like that. That's the guy, if you're going to win not only this game, but if you have any chance of, you know, maybe beating Hampton down the road, you got to have a guy like that in the game for you. You can't risk him this close to halftime.
Even though during the regular season he ran for 2,006 yards, you still need him to be healthy. There's the option right there to Lewis. Looks pretty good there. Gets close to the end zone. Not quite, but Phoebus going to try to score again. 35-21, but that goes, Nate, back to the weight room during the summer, the conditioning, desire, the accountability, and the teamwork. It's all about the team.
Absolutely, and you know, we're going to see right here, Lewis not exactly at full strength, but he's going to give you what he has, and 80% of Ilan Lewis is probably better than most of the guys in the Peninsula District, and he's able to get him close to the score right there. But, you know, they are just so, you know, well-versed on offense, defense, and special teams that it's hard to keep them out of that end zone.
They are relentless, Phoebus is. They will not let up for nothing. Lewis again. Will he get it? Looks like he does. Yes, Ilan Lewis scores again. So it is now Phoebus 41, Woodside 21, and we're still in the second quarter. with 40 seconds left. Bill D's team is up by 20 live on Channel 47. So the Newport News audience is getting a chance to look at what a good Phoebus team this is.
And especially Ilan Lewis right there just jumping over the pile. Not 5 minutes ago, he was on the ground, folks, and he just gets up, shows you that determination, shows you that courage, shows you why, in my opinion, he's one of the best running backs we've seen in the last 5 years.
You know, for a long time when Bill D, and he told me, for a while they were behind Dennis Kozlowski and Bethel, was the Mike Smith, Dennis Kozlowski rivalry. But since Koz left in 98 and prior to that, Bill D has taken it up a notch as they kick the extra point right now by Chris Schwartz, number 33. The kick is up, and it is, looks good. It is 42-21 in favor of the Phantoms over the Wolverines.
Things change, Greg. Unbelievable. 42-21, you see the score right there, and this has been the Ilan Lewis show tonight. And again, that last drive, Greg, 9 plays, 38 yards, 3 minutes and 48 seconds. They really just wore down Woodside right there, and Ilan Lewis finishing it off, doing the damage.
Chris, your thoughts?
Well, Ilan Lewis, he is just so strong. He is completely overpowering the defensive line from the Wolverines tonight.
And you know what, guys? You know, I thought Dave Underwood was in the truck, but I guess it's Ilan Lewis because this is his show tonight. He's producing, he's directing, he's doing everything out there, folks. Ilan Lewis, if they can't find an answer to him in the second half, they're not going to win this game.
There's Danny Dotson trying to find an answer. He is a chemistry teacher, and he's going to have to look for a good potion here in the second half. I tell you one thing, Dotson's a real gentleman. First ever postseason for Woodside. All 5 Newport News schools now have made it. It's just the big gap in between. We mentioned, last time a Newport News school made it was Warwick 3 years ago. There's a special teams kick. And Woodside having trouble getting the ball, kind of shaky, by number 12, Danny McMillan.
And everything changed on that fumble, Greg. That's where the game started to shift.
You can hear the energy level just drop on the Woodside side right now. But they don't want to have a fumble and get Phoebus to score again. 42-21. The Phantoms up by 21 in the second quarter.
I think what they got to do right now, guys, is just send Stephon Welch on that fly pattern. Send him down the sidelines like we saw in the first half. Just throw it up there. Let him get it. He's tall enough. He's fast enough. You got to, make something happen here quickly.
That pass to him in the corner was excellent. And, of course, we saw a quarterback sneak by Willie Bell, too. Another touchdown by Welch.
Right.
So he can catch. There's Cooper, nowhere. Good stop in the play by the Phoebus Phantoms, number 5 right there, Stephen Moss. 31 seconds left till intermission. Woodside taking a timeout. Greg Bickaveris, Nate Milton, Chris Amick, glad you're with us. We'll be seeing some basketball in January. Look forward to that schedule on the website coming up soon. Hope everybody has a wonderful Thanksgiving. Stay safe out there. Make sure you buckle up and obey the signs and the speed limit while we're driving. See Bill D right there, lives in Newport News and he was an assistant coach at Denby for a while, we mentioned. He's only been the head coach at Southampton and Phoebus. Such great players this gentleman has coached, like Antoine Womack and Andre Ross, Nathaniel Adibi and Xavier Adibi, Philip Brown, who's up-and-coming star at Virginia, DJ Parker, P.D. Whitfield, David Brown, Tim Williams, and he even kind of rubbed it in on me the other day. He said, Greg, my first win ever was against who? He said, Ferguson, 10-7 in 1985 with David Presley. Of course, that was 19 years ago. Bell gets sacked.
Wow.
And that'll do it. 21 seconds with the flag on the play. And Phoebus needs to get their focus a little bit tightened up. And Woodside, we see the replay coming up. Woodside just needs to regain their composure.
Here you see Willie Bell trying to make something happen. Good job by the front four of Phoebus making him pay right there. And he just has nowhere to go but down. And that's just kind of a microcosm of what's happening in the second half. The second period. Woodside has just not been able to get things going.
Tommy Reeman will join us in the third quarter. Head football coach of Warwick will join us in the third quarter. He went and scouted Booker T in Hampton tonight. Already getting for next year. 16 seconds left till intermission. Willie Bell throws it. And it's complete to Stephon Welsh. 6 seconds left. 42-21. It's been the Ilan Lewis show tonight. 42-21 Phoebus. You would think their biggest rivalry is Woodside the way they're playing tonight, but it's against Hampton. If they win tonight, they might be playing Hampton next week. What a showdown that might be.
Absolutely. What we've seen tonight, Woodside just has not been able to get anything going here in the second quarter. What Phoebus has been able to do is really put that pressure on Willie Bell, and they've been double-teaming Stephon Welsh, taking away that big target for him.
Phoebus has only allowed 96 points all year long. Give up 9 a game. 6 seconds left. This will be the last play, but incomplete, so they'll get one more play. You have to watch an interception here. Woodside with the ball, down 42-21.
I think right now you just got to throw it up to Stephon Welsh, see if he can make something happen.
Last year, for Phoebus, they beat Hampton in the first round of the regionals this time a year ago, 24-20. They lost to them during the regular season, 23-7, and then they lost to Indian River, 27-9. Bell throws it, complete, and that'll do the first half right there. Nice catch right there by number 30, Jared Dietrich, and we are at intermission. With this score, it is Phoebus 42, Woodside 21. All right, folks, welcome back to beautiful John B. Todd Field. Started the third quarter. Highlights coming up from all those great scores in the first half. 42-21, Phoebus leading it. Greg Bickaveris, Nate Milton, Chris Amon.
Then you see Chopper 10 from Wavy come in. We saw Bruce Rader. They're out here promoting the game. Very exciting game we got here tonight. But that wasn't the end of the air show.
No, it was. Here it was. Willie Bell, the first big play right there, right to Stephon Welsh for a touchdown. Great catch by Welsh.
And then here's something that's going to be a theme all night, folks. Ilan Lewis, one of the best runners in the district right there, really setting things up, using his power and his speed. And then once again, a great job from Ward, the pitch to Ilan Lewis for the touchdown, Greg.
Absolutely. He's resilient. Now Willie Bell and Woodside on offense. Here's the pass. Throws it deep. And again, nice setup right there by Welsh. He was the backup quarterback. And right now, a quarterback sneak right there by Bell.
And right at that point, you know, Woodside seemed to have things going the way, but then we saw another big run by Phoebus, this theme that we keep seeing all night. And there you see right there. They faked to Lewis, and then they went inside to the big man, Stephon Moss, the fullback, 6'1", 210. He does a great job of running down there. There was a fumble at the end, but Phoebus was able to recover.
And here's the touchdown. That was Stephen Moss right there. Quarterback sneak right there. Aaron Ward, he says, Willie Bell can do it. I can do it too.
And then Woodside coming back, though. They're making that response. And then you see, great job up top. This is what they needed to do more of in the second quarter. Great job, Stephon Welsh up there getting things started. Another great pass from Willie Bell.
All right. Here's Aaron Ward and Phoebus. Didn't see a whole lot of passing by them, but there's a nice, excellent catch right there by Vincent, number 12, Brent Vincent, the junior. Excellent speed, burning the defenders right there. That's what really got Phoebus going, I think.
Absolutely. And then you want to talk about speed. This is the guy we've been highlighting all night, folks. Ilan Lewis, the big guy, showing some speed, but then also just that second gear, that acceleration. Nobody's within a couple steps of him. He just got in there easy, and Ilan Lewis has done great things tonight, Greg.
There's a special teams right there, a botch right there by Woodside. And this is when Woodside started to unravel, and Phoebus got the ball back, Nate.
Really the turning point of the game at that point, because Woodside still had a chance there. You know, they were in the lead, and then we saw this. Ilan Lewis, that fumble, set up this touchdown right here. Great job. The pitch on the outside looked like they had a chance of bringing him down, but again, he just runs so hard. You can't arm tackle this guy. You got to put a helmet on him.
All right, here goes Phoebus again. They keep it simple, right to Ilan Lewis.
Ilan
All right,
Lewis,
folks.
another play.
And right now, we are joined by Tommy Raymond, of course. There you see Greg Bickaveris, Nate Milton, of course, Tommy Raymond, the head football coach of Warwick. We're at halftime right now, and Phoebus leads Woodside 42-21. Tommy, welcome. Good to see you once again. I know it's kind of a bittersweet year for you. Your team goes 4-6, but the future looks bright.
Yes, the future does look bright. You know, we graduate 6 kids, and so the future looks very good. But I just traveled over from Dollar Stadium, and I wanted to see Hampton and Booker T play, and we played Booker T the first game of the season. So I just wanted to see how they've done since we beat them earlier.
You're already doing some advanced scouting on Booker T and then seeing what's going on with them.
Well, it was very important because they have 16 seniors, so I wanted to see how they look.
Well, Tom, you know, it's funny. I've known you since right after I was in high school at Ferguson, and remember in 1986 when you applied for the job and you got it, you went to Manor after that. Then 1991 you were at Ferguson. But here we go. You're in your 15th year coming up. And now an emotional time in your coaching career. You've seen Michael Vick. You've seen Aaron Brooks, and now it's little Tommy's turn, and that's got to be emotional for you.
Yes, we can talk about that a little later.
Yeah, but he'll be the quarterback for Warwick the next
yes,
3 years.
Yes, he will.
So his season started, of course, next year. How about the game tonight? Phoebus started off a little shaky, but when you have a weapon like Ilan Lewis, it's tough to stop him.
Well, you know, we played Phoebus 2 weeks ago, and we jumped on them 10-0 early, and they just such a great, solid football team, and they're so physical. So Woodside did that too, by the pass. So they took full advantage of that, and now I think with time you're seeing some physical play out there by Phoebus.
About ready to watch the kickoff here in just a moment, folks. So we're going to get back to shift the gear on the field right now. Flag already on the play right there.
Now, Coach Freeman, just something that we wanted to ask you. You know, you're very familiar with Danny Dotson.
Yes.
What would you do if you're in his situation? You know, your team has been kind of struggling in the second quarter. What do you got to do to get him back into the game?
Well, I'm going to laugh at that. Danny Dobson was my assistant for 5 years. I helped him get the job at Woodside, and he has beaten me every year. So I don't have any suggestions for him, but truly, speaking, it's a tough haul. They have to be physical and be aggressive and take advantage of some big plays and go back to the pass.
Actually, Tommy, you beat him the first 2 years, but he's beaten you the last 4.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, we're just about to start the third quarter. Woodside and Phoebus. Phoebus is the home team, although they're at Todd Stadium, so they're the higher seed in Division V Eastern Regional Semi. Here he goes again, Ilan Lewis. Of course, Phoebus and Woodside in a rematch of game number 1 that took place on October 4th, in which Woodside won it 14-13. But Tom, you remember go back to 3 years ago. You were in a similar situation with Danny Dotson. You beat Phoebus during the regular season, but lost them in the first round of the playoffs.
Yes, Dobson and I talked about that quite often in reference to that scenario. And Phoebus gets strong as the year goes by, and that's many of the great programs, Hampton and Phoebus, and Bethel too, with the big horses they have. By that 8th, 9th game of the season, they are still strong, mainly because of the weight room and strong physical guys.
Holding right there on Woodside, and Nate, you're seeing Woodside starting off a little shaky in the second half.
Absolutely. You know, it's just kind of continued now. They've really got to put a stop to this right now, because another score and things are going to be kind of out of hand right now. And so what they've got to do is just really focus in. And, you know, they can't afford to make any mistakes. They can't afford penalties, because then you're just giving free yardage to Ilan Lewis and the Phoebus Phantoms.
All right, folks, 42-21, 11:46. And already now Phoebus is in the Woodside side of the field. 42-21. Referee tonight, Donald Sandy. Umpire Jim Curry. Linesman Tom Cantrell. Line judge Jeff Hyatt. Side judge Maurice Davis. Field judge Bill Davis. Back judge Phil Stenstrom. All right, 1st and 10, going left to right. Phoebus in the blue and gold. Aaron Ward, the quarterback, number 3 in the pro-I offense. Here's Ilan Lewis. He's got daylight. He's up the middle. He's got room. He will score a touchdown. Ilan Lewis scores again. No lobster for Woodside tonight. 48-21. And Phoebus is not wasting any time. They only allowed 37 seconds.
Ilan Lewis with the bookends right there, Greg. Scored the last touchdown of the first half. And now starting the second half off right here, you see it. Simple play, just right up the middle. Not even the blockers. I think he outran his blockers, but he's just so strong, so quick, so powerful, and he was just able to take it up the middle. And Woodside has been vulnerable to that play all night, right up the gut.
All right, it's now 48-21. Phoebus will be kicking. Chris Swartz, the extra point. Number 33. The kick is up, and it is good. Now, Tommy Raymond's team played Phoebus and had a 10-0 lead on them, so he knows how dangerous they are. Now, Tommy, you started off very well in that game.
Well, yes, we did. But physically, on their first big play they made, they then showed how solid they are. And just like at this moment, at starting of the third quarter, Phoebus staff is very good, and they did good adjustments at halftime. And that quick trap that they hit there, they saw something earlier in the game, and they came right back to that at the beginning of the third quarter. So it will get physical.
49-21 is the score. Phoebus up by 28. It was up 42-21 at halftime. Again, during the season, Woodside beat Phoebus 14-13, but last year, I think that's more relevant to tonight's game. Phoebus beat Woodside 63-20. This is just a dangerous team, like Raymond mentioned. They've scored over 60 points 3 times this year. Bill's D's teams have always scored a lot of points.
Well, I can contest to that.
Yeah.
I mean, I truly can contest to that.
So when you beat them early. That's kind of like they're most vulnerable.
You have to. You have to catch them early in those great programs like Hampton and Phoebus.
There's Stephon Welsh. And Tommy Raymond will be trying to stop him next year. He's the quarterback for the Woodside Wolverines next year. How do you stop a guy like Welsh with your work defense next year, Tommy?
Well, I tell you what, I've been very fortunate. I've been around a guy named Aaron Sparrow, Allen Iverson, Ronald Carey. The great athletes are great athletes. There's not much you can do about it. You can talk a good game at it, but you just have to be aware of where they are all the time and adjust your defense that way. This kid is a great athlete.
There's a good example of it right there.
Does a good job of just getting to the outside. And, special teams is another area of the game where, you can sort of get that momentum going. If you can't get it started on offense, coach, if a big special teams play can kind of get the team into the game.
Very much.
All right, Bell from the shotgun. Flag on the play. A lot of looks like it's going to be on Woodside. Tommy, you're so used to seeing Woodside with that wing T offense, but they've been doing a lot of passing tonight.
Well, they're going to have to the remaining of the game, and as you see, they're in a shotgun now, and Phoebus is in a cover 2 defensive set, so they are aware that they have to throw the football. So we just have to now see what kind of stunt games is being played by Phoebus.
There's Danny Dotson right there, born in Radford, Virginia. Was an assistant with Tommy Raymond from 91 to 95 when Aaron Brooks was there, and Michael Vick, the quarterback in 94, and B2 Harris. Willie Bell throws a screen pass complete to Codero Cooper. Codero's got some room and gets tripped up at the 35 by number 11 for Phoebus, Matt Wright. Tommy, you were one of the few Newport News schools to beat a Hampton school this year. You beat Kickoff. Newport News was 3-17, but you beat them over the years. What's it going to take to consistently beat the 4 Hampton schools? Bethel had a solid 7-3 year as well, and Kickoff went 5-5.
Well, I have to talk real in reference to that question because the Hampton schools are so solid. And let's say it starts in November, December, January, weightlifting, and we, the Newport News schools, have to get into that kind of commitment. Our kids do, and so the Hampton schools are physical and their programs are solid, but it starts early during the new year.
There's Bell's throw, but a flag on the play. 8-man front for Phoebus on the defense. Woodside likes the wing T offense. It'll be 2nd and 9. Okay, on that last play, and they'll bring up a first down. Face mask on the Phantoms. So Phoebus got a little sloppy there. 1st and 10 now from the 41 of Phoebus. Good opportunity right now for Woodside to maybe get some momentum. They're going right to left in the white, black, and aqua. Bell's got time, but he's in trouble. Gets stopped on play by number 25, Colby Walker. Phoebus in the blue and gold.
The good job of the Phoebus defense getting in there. And Coach, getting back to why the Hampton schools have been so successful, I think another reason is just consistency with the head coaches. You talk about Mike Smith over at Hampton. You talk about Bill D here with Phoebus. The Newport News programs that have really been successful lately, you talk about Heritage with Quillen. You talk about your Warwick teams, and now here at Woodside with Danny Dodson.
Yes.
That coaching, you can't be having a different coach every year and expect to be consistent.
Well, the stability, yes, is critical. But the Newport News schools also, specifically Warwick, I never know who I'm going to get at Warwick into the 9th grade when he walks in the building. So, feeder programs and having some kind of relationship with the Little League programs will be helpful, but I've not seen that over 15 years.
All right, 3rd and 9. Woodside's got the ball, looking pretty sharp here. Bell, nice catch by Stephon Welsh. He just did a one-handed catch. Now, Welsh will be the quarterback for the Wolverines next year. Keep an eye on him, folks. Dotson says he's probably one of the best athletes the Wolverines have had. And Riemann remembers, of course, Reggie Johnson, Amando Davis, and Elliot Holmes, and Billy Canedius, and Brian Holmes. But Welsh is a dangerous athlete, number 1. 3 receivers out. Bell running it himself. Number 7. And he's stopped in the play solid by number 11, Matt Wright, for Phoebus. 9 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. 49-21.
Right here, you're going to see a replay right here, folks, that conversion that they made. And you're just going to see, again, we're talking about Stephon Welsh knowing his quarterback and also Willie Bell having that confidence to put it right in there amongst the defenders. And Stephon Welsh goes out and makes a play happen.
All right, folks, it's 1st and 10 now for Woodside, trying to get some momentum, trying to get their confidence up. Down by 28. Bell throws a screen pass complete. Nice catch right there by number 30, and that was Jared Dietrich. Tommy, what did you see from the Hampton Booker T game over at Darling Stadium tonight?
Well, Hampton started out pretty much trying to see exactly what Booker T was about defensively. So it was a very slow first 5 minutes. After that, Hampton started running the football solid between tackles, and Booker T likes to throw the football, so pretty much stunts by the linebackers kind of contain their passing game.
Bell still on his feet. Nice move. Great 2nd and 3rd effort. And there he is, using those basketball moves playing football. Remember, they won the state championship last year in basketball, and there you see some great slashing by Willie Bell.
Willie Bell just made something out of nothing right there. And you're going to see on this play, Phoebus has been getting penetration last couple of plays, and they've got a hand on him, but they're not able to bring him down. Then just scrambling, doesn't see anybody, tucks the ball away, picks up the 1st down. Does a great job right there making something happen on a busted play.
1st and 10, Woodside going right to left at the Phoebus 12. Screen pass complete. Nice catch right there by number 8, Javon Shaw. You talk about the state championship teams. We're in the postseason now. Phoebus won it 2001, 2002. The last time Hampton won it was back in 1998 was the last time they won it. Heritage won it in 2000. But, Tommy, you put a lot of players in college and so forth. We're going to talk about that in a moment. Bell with a flag down, incomplete.
Another flag down in the end zone.
Flags all over the place. One of your players that we don't hear a whole lot about is at Virginia, Melvin Massey. Tell us about Melvin. It seems like he's playing a little bit more this year.
Yes, he does play a lot. He has, they have that philosophy of their playing so many downs, and he gets a lot of plays in. He pretty much plays on a nickel package, the passing situation. But he's very excited. He's a semester away from graduating. He loves our grow, and he's having fun this year.
That's right. He seems like it is. There's a referee at there, Donald Sandy. Penalties decline. 1st down for Woodside. Good break there. We're going to hear more about what Raymond says about Cody Brodus in just a moment. Tell us about that play, Tommy.
Well, right here, I tell you, Dobson and I talked early in the week, and I knew he was going to spread the ball out and go shotgun, which is a great strategy against Phoebus. As they drop back in the cover 2, you can zone pick it, and Bell is an excellent quarterback that can nitpick and get some nice runs, and as well as in the shotgun, make the 4 linemen tackle him, and he's elusive enough to do some of the things he just did on that play.
No, we didn't see a whole lot of penalties in the first half, but we're seeing them here in the second
Right,
half.
you know, and just those mistakes, those mental mistakes and errors, you know, are the things that can make a difference between winning and losing. The coach, earlier I kind of asked you to give us Danny Dotson's view, but if you're Coach Bill D and you guys have the lead as it is right now, how difficult is it to keep your team focused and not allow them to start slacking
Well,
off?
it's very difficult, but you pretty much know exactly what they're going to do right now. They have to pass the football. So he's jumping back in a cover 2 zone defense, and the 4 linemen are just rushing, and he's dropping back in zone coverage, just testing the accuracy throwing of Bell.
All right, folks, 49-21, 1st and 10. Woodside in the shotgun. Willie Bell, quarterback number 7, throws it incomplete. And their center for Woodside is only a freshman, and he's a solid player. That is Daryl Cooper, number 50, only a freshman. But they've been switching it up a lot. 2nd and 10 now for the Wolverines. Trying to score here. And it's incomplete. Intended for Stephon Welsh. He shoves off one of the Phoebus players.
And right now, what you're trying to see is Woodside just trying to make something happen. And, you know, like Coach Reeman said, Phoebus knows what you're going to do, but it's a matter of can they stop it. I think when they were most successful was when they had Stephon Welsh going to the corner using his height, kind of like Michael Irvin did back with the Cowboys. You can kind of toss it up, and he's able to go up there and use his athleticism to get it.
Tommy probably remembers Harold Carmichael at the Philadelphia Eagles, more like him and Ron Jaworski. Carmichael was dangerous like that. And here comes Cooper trying to get to the at least 5-yard line. There's Phantoms trying to push him right on back. Tommy, what are your fondest memories playing in the NFL with the Kansas City Chiefs and the Pittsburgh Steelers?
You know what? My fondest memory is playing when I was traded from Kansas City to Chicago Bears, and I had an opportunity to play with Walter Payton for a preseason. And I think of that because of the work ethics and the fun watching a great Walter Payton, who was a running back just like I was.
Willie Bell throws it from the shotgun. It is complete for a touchdown. Woodside not giving up yet. Jared Dietrich in traffic makes the catch. 49-27. Game is not over yet, folks. Although Phoebus is in control.
And again, here you're going to see Willie Bell just scanning the field, using his legs to buy him some time, and then up top to Dietrich. And I'm not sure if he was going underneath or if he was going to Dietrich up top, but either way, Coach Dotson is going to take those results.
49-27. Nice catch right there by Jared Dietrich. Kick is up, and it is no good. Missed by Joey Tutone. So the score remains Phoebus 49, Woodside 27 with 6:25. Before we let Tommy go, I want to get his thoughts about the year Cody Brodus has. Tommy, you put a lot on his shoulders this year. The kid went through a rough summer during the passing drills. He got hurt. His mouth was wired up. He barely could eat. You and his mother were both feeding him the best you could, but the kid really responded, but he didn't really wake up till midway through the season, as you know.
Well, you know, he's a human being. And you can imagine if your mouth was wired up. The week before we played Hampton, the 3rd game of the season, they had surgery to take the metal out of his mouth. So he did have a tough season, and then with the youthness of the offensive line and the physical contact early, there is some hesitations there. So late on in the season, he came along, and the team had too. And so I'm very proud of him. He showed a lot of character as a young man, and that will help him in his life.
Tommy, when is he going to make his decision? I know he likes Virginia Tech, but when is he going to make his official decision?
Late February.
So it won't be in 2004?
Will not be anything early.
And you advise him like you always do?
Well, I am advising him on that based off of completing some academics and having himself in a clear position to make the right decision.
All right, Tommy, and before we let you go, your final thoughts. How does Warwick football team on paper? We're only talking on paper right now, looking with Tommy Reeman Jr. as the quarterback and several great weapons back like Michael Whitaker.
Well, Whitaker made first-team All-District, and Jamaris Sanders made first-team All-District defensive back. We lose 6 players. We return pretty much everybody. Tommy will be the quarterback. He's very mature for his age, and so I'm excited to watch him and watch the team grow for next year.
I think it's funny because at 6 o'clock in the morning, you can tell him, son, watch out for the 5-2 defense or watch out for the 3-4.
Well, I'm going to teach him about a hot system a lot. Linebackers blitz.
Hey, let me ask you this real quick. You see the Baltimore Ravens, a lot of pro teams using the 3-4 defense. What's your opinion about the 3-4 defense?
Well, for that level, because of pass, they have to play it to keep the ends out wide to contain quarterbacks or get the good rush. And most teams don't run the ball a lot. They're throwing it. So it gives you the cover two zone concept if you can blend it in with man coverages.
Tommy, thanks a lot, and have a good rest of the night.
Thank you very much.
And a good offseason. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Tommy Raymond right there, folks. Nate, right now after that score, it's 49-27 with 6:18 left in the third quarter. Phoebus with the ball in the lead.
Absolutely, and we're going to see right now if Woodside can keep things going and try to make a stop here on the defense. That last drive was very effective by Woodside. 13 plays, 65 yards, taking up almost 5 minutes on the clock. So they're doing the right things, but maybe it's just too little too late.
$49-27. A couple pro games we mentioned. Washington plays at Philadelphia. Dallas plays Baltimore this week. Phoebus with the ball going left to right. Here's Aaron Ward going deep. Spiral pass, incomplete. Intended for number 2, Donathan Robinson.
Good coverage right there by Woodside. And they're doing the right things right now. Again, 3rd and 10. You got to make a big play right now, Chris. Bring Chris Amy back in. They've got to make a big play in order to stop the tide from Phoebus.
Well, that the game's 49-27 right now. It's not over. They still have a quarter and a half to go. That's what they need to do. They need to get a big play. Phoebus is suspect of that big play, and that's what they need to do. They just need to keep trying to get the ball back from Phoebus and keep it out of their hands as much as possible.
All right, Greg Bickaveris, Nate Milton, Chris Amick, 49-27. Ward throws a screen, and it's intercepted. Intercepted right there. And a lackadaisical play could cause Phoebus. A great catch right there by number 85, Gene Britton. Big-time catch, big-time play, and that's what Bill D was worried about, the big play. We still have time left in this game. 5:58 in the third quarter.
Like Tommy Riemann was saying, sometimes you can start to get lackadaisical, and there you see just a lazy pass right there. Britton skies up in the air, takes it down, and Phoebus is very lucky that Britton wasn't able to put that ball in the end zone.
Phoebus' body language has been very lax so far in the third quarter. They can't have a letdown against this tough Woodside team. Woodside in the wing T offense. Phoebus counting with that 8-man front. 5:58, still plenty of time in the third quarter. Bell throws it. Now he's intercepted. And Phoebus just answers it back. Donathan Robinson with the interception. So Phoebus gets right back with the offense. But both teams, Chris, have to step up their body language.
Well, you're exactly right, Greg. Right there, I don't understand. That just completely kills the little bit of momentum that Woodside had.
Again, just trying to force something right there. When you try to force things, it's not going to work. And Robinson doing a great job right there, stepping into the passing lane and really kills the momentum that Woodside was building.
It seems like Woodside's getting away. What they do best is run the ball, especially in the red zone.
Right, but like Riemann said, at this point in the game, they're going to be throwing, and Phoebus knows that they're going to be throwing, so they have to make everything perfect. They can't afford to make mistakes like that.
All right, folks, Newport News Sports Highlights, been running since February of '92. Airs on Mondays at 7 p.m. and Saturday morning at 9. It's tomorrow morning, right on Channel 47. We feature local coaches and athletes and guests to keep you informed about the local sports scene. Newport News Sports Highlights, 7 p.m. Mondays and 9 a.m. Saturdays, right here on Channel 47, WPNB.com. And we'll have our basketball schedule coming up there soon. Look forward to basketball, too. And I tell you, Nate, we heard from John Richardson at halftime. His Woodside basketball team won the state championship a year ago.
Right, we talked about that connection that Stephon Welsh and Willie Bell had. Ooh. Well, it goes back to that basketball court, and I wouldn't be surprised if they were challenging again this year. They're a very solid team.
They're already talking about that Woodside-Bethel matchup is going to be huge this year. Two best teams in the district coming up. All right, Phoebus has the football now deep in Woodside's territory on the 5-yard line, going left to right in the blue and gold. Woodside beat Phoebus, as we know, early on, 14-13, but that was way back on October 4th. Now the year is almost over, and Phoebus is in control in the playoffs. They're going to try to run some clock off here. If they win, they will play Hampton next week. There you see Bill D., the head football coach of Phoebus for 20 years. Mike Smith has been the head coach of Hampton for 34 years. Combine those two for 54 years. Most of these players were part of the state championship run in 2001 and 2002. Of course, they've had great players like Antoine Womack and Antoine Ross and Nathaniel Adibi. His first win came over Ferguson back on September 21st, 1985, 10-7. He's pushing 200 in a couple more years. And Lewis goes out of bounds on a nice run. That's one thing Bill D doesn't want to see his team go out of bounds.
Right. Well, the thing that you mentioned, this team has so much experience, Greg, and they were going for that third straight championship last year. Unfortunately, they got upended by Indian River, into the regionals. But this is a very solid team. And, again, it goes back to that ground game. And when you talk about that, you have to talk about Ilan Lewis. Again, almost broke that play wide open right there. Phoebus just got forced out of bounds, and Woodside was very fortunate because of that.
5:03 left in the third quarter. Phoebus with the ball, 49-27. They lead it. Live on Channel 47, glad you're with us. They've got a nice lead here in the third quarter. Lewis up the middle again.
Wow.
Here he goes again. Ilan Lewis, the Virginia Tech signee, all the way down to the 12-yard line.
Woo.
Boy, looks like the Virginia Tech-Maryland game right now.
I'm telling you, Greg.
And Dotson's got his head set off.
Ilan Lewis is a game breaker and a difference maker, and he's doing it tonight, folks.
And he plays hurt, too, Chris.
I mean, that's the key thing of a leader right there. He's showing his leadership skills tonight when they need him in the playoffs.
And there you see it, just running straight up the gut. That trap play, Tommy Reeman talked about it. Ilan Lewis just right up the middle, and he's right there. He just kind of slows down at the end there, but he has just done a great job tonight.
I'm looking at Bob Sislow over there. He was my PE teacher at St. Andrews. He's the assistant football coach at Phoebus, and he was the assistant coach with Thad Madden for a while. I don't think he's ever seen anybody quite like this at Phoebus High School. He saw Antoine Womack too, but I tell you, this kid is unbelievable. Last year, he ran for 2,474 yards. This year, 2,006, 29 touchdowns prior to the night. 284 yards Ilan Lewis has run for tonight. 22 carries. Here's his 23rd carry. And they're pushing him almost to the end zone. He won't make it. With 4:25 left in the third quarter. It is Phoebus 49, Woodside 27. Let me tell you, folks, Woodside has nothing to be ashamed of. They played a great year, 8-2. First time ever in their school history they made the postseason. They have a great quarterback coming back next year in Stephon Welsh. Great basketball team. They won the state championship in softball. Very solid women's basketball team under Mike Talon and John Richardson. We know what he's done. This school is up and coming as one of the top teams in the state all around. Academics, athletics, and activities. Great job by the principal and the athletic director, Al Dorner, and Stephanie Houts, respectively. Doing a great job up in the northern Denby area. There's number 3 right there, the quarterback. Hands it off to who else? Ilan. He scores again. Let me tell you about Bill D. He can light up the scoreboard. 55-27.
Unbelievable.
82 combined points.
And I tell you, folks, this isn't a movie here, but Ilan Lewis has been the Phantom Menace tonight. We're talking to Michael right up here in the booth from the Daily Press. Check out this stat line, Greg. 285 yards, 6 touchdowns.
Unbelievable. And a lot of them are big plays that set up a little small touchdowns. He's done it both.
And there you go. He can do it all. He can run the long plays. He can do these short plays coming through with the power, just following his blockers, just get that second burst. 6 touchdowns tonight, and this has been Ilan Lewis's show.
Like he just dipped into the pool right there, a little dip right there. 55-27, 3:38 left in the third quarter. Greg Bickaveris, Nate Milton, Chris Amick live on Channel 47 at Newport News. Glad you are with us. Just broke the state AAA scoring record, and of course, last year, 2,474 rushing yards. this year 2006, but he's hurt. He is tired. He is fatigued.
And I think, now would be a good time to just, sit him down. You want to rest him for Hampton, folks. 290 yards, breaking the state record. 6 touchdowns. He's coming out of the game. The folks are giving him, the fans here, the Phoebus fans, and probably the Woodside fans too, giving this kid the respect and the adoration that he deserves. Just acknowledging what we've seen tonight. Almost 300 yards, 6 touchdowns. I've never seen a performance. You can talk about what Michael Johnson did, what Antoine Womack has done, some of the great runners in the past. But this guy tonight, Ilan Lewis, I haven't seen anybody better.
He's putting up a show for the Newport News audience, that's for sure. It is now 55-27, the extra point and the hold by Aaron Ward and the kick by Chris Swartz. And extra point is good. The last time these two teams played, our producer Dave Underwood telling us, they did not score an offensive touchdown. That is unbelievable. I mean, this team is averaging 42 points a game on offense. They're up now 56-27 over Woodside. Unbelievable. Ilan Lewis, let me tell you one thing. He needs some fluids. He needs some energy. He needs something to eat. And he needs to go home and go to bed tonight.
And if everything plays out like we expect it to, they're going to have a very exciting matchup against Hampton, and Ilan Lewis has to be 100% for them to have a chance.
Hey, they're in control right now. Still, we haven't gone to the fourth quarter yet. This game is already over 2 hours long. They've stopped the clock a lot. But one thing these refs are letting these kids play is we hear the Phoebus band in the background. Ray Price telling me the Heritage Band, one of the best in Newport News. Phoebus out for blood tonight like a shark seeing bait. They are really just going for it. And, of course, they lost that big lineman last year, Anthony Robinson, as we see the band right there for the Phantoms. 4 times in a row, Phoebus has made the postseason since 2001. 12 times in Bill D's tenure. At 60% of his 20 years, he's made it. Dotson in his first time making it in his 6th year. But he's building a program. Like you told Tommy Raymond, you need stability at the coaching level. Unfortunately, Heritage, they won the state championship in 2000. We're going to look at their 5th coach in 10 years next year.
Right. We saw, like I said, we've seen it with Phoebus, with Bill D. We've seen it in Hampton with Mike Smith, with Warwick, with Tommy Raymond. We saw it for a little while with Heritage, but when you start to change up the coaches every year, every 2 years, you're not going to have that consistency, and you can't really build a program like that.
They just ran through their opponents this year, Phoebus did. I tell you, last year, before they lost the game, they won 6 in a row before losing to Hampton. This year, it was pretty much the same. They just kept on winning and winning and winning. They won 3 in a row before they lost to Woodside.
Unbelievable.
3:38 left in the third quarter. The score is Phoebus 56, Woodside 27. There's Bill D in his 20th year. Enjoys movies during the spare time. You talked about movies, Nate. Low maintenance guy. He lost, he told me, 30 pounds. He just cut back on a lot of fat. Hasn't eaten as much. Being a coach, you can tend to eat late a lot.
Right. It's a very stressful job, and, you really got to take care of yourself so you can get out there and coach these young men.
Here comes Woodside. And they'll go out of bounds in that run on the special teams. And one thing else he told me, he'll go home tonight, get the tape, and he'll watch it all night long. It won't just end for him. He'll watch it and second-guess it, and then he'll start getting ready if they win against Hampton next week.
And let's make it clear, even if Phoebus ends up winning this game like we think they are, they've made a lot of mistakes in this game, especially in the first half, when Woodside was just able to hang with them, and you can't afford to make any mistakes against a team like Hampton.
Or turnovers or penalties.
Absolutely.
In 2001, Nate, his team won the state championship over Patrick Henry. 2 years ago, they beat Stafford, and they beat Roger Pierce, the first coach in Heritage history, in 96 and 97. Roger Pierce's team, he coached Stafford 2 years ago. That's who Phoebus beat. This is the toughest district in the state, the Peninsula District.
Absolutely, from top to bottom.
I mean, we had 3 of the 4 schools in Division 5 playoffs. Here's Willie Bell in the shotgun. And, Chris, at least Woodside's not giving up.
Well, they just need to keep giving the ball. They need to keep trying to score. This is a playoff game. You don't want to just give up in a game like this.
Of course, our 4th TV game of the year. They beat Denby 34-6. And they beat Warwick 16-7 in a televised game. We saw Heritage beat Menchville 28-7. And now tonight, here's the bomb by Bell.
Oh.
Incomplete, intended for Stephon Welsh. Good coverage by number 2. Donathan Robinson. Aaron Ward's not out there in defense. Bill D likes some players going both ways, but you won't see Ilan Lewis going both ways.
Absolutely not. Not with a player as good as that, folks. But, Woodside had a chance on that last play right there down the field. Stephon Welsh has the speed, has the athletic ability to get to it. Unfortunately, just a little bit in front of him, facing double coverage.
3 minutes left in the third quarter. Bell throws, but he gets sacked instead. Boy, oh boy, gets sandwiched. Willie Bell all blue and gold over there. Not quite like the Newport-East-Hampton rivalry 34 years ago, Nate, but Woodside has to be proud of making the playoffs.
Right. There's no shame in that. They've had a great season, and if it ends tonight, they've got nothing to hang their head about.
Phoebus, of course, great principal Donna Woods, and athletic director there, Gerald Gentry and Bill D. And one thing, too, one of our all right, let's go now to Cedric.
Thanks, Greg. I'm down here with Woodside's principal, Miss Haas. How you doing today?
Just great.
All right, first I want to congratulate you on Woodside Wolverines' first ever playoff appearance.
Thanks. We're real excited about it. Real proud of the guys.
All right, my first question with you, what was the special awards that the school has gotten lately?
Well, besides tonight being here, we actually just were notified that for the 4th year in a row we've met full accreditation in the state. We're real proud of that. And first time with meeting the AYP for No Child Left Behind. So academics all the way at Woodside.
Since you've been at Woodside, what was the biggest or the meaningful award that y'all received?
Well, that one's a little harder. We've always been very proud of our academics, like I just talked about. But obviously, the basketball championship last year was a lot of fun. And about 2 years ago, we won a sportsmanship award for the school, which we were very proud of because that included all of the sports for all 3 seasons and just their performance on the field and that classiness of athletes. So that's probably a real one that we're proud of.
Thank you, Ms. Haas, for coming down off the stands to get this interview. Back up to the booth.
All right, Cedric, thank you so much for that nice interview with the principal, Stephanie House. Greg Bickaveris, Nate Milton, glad you're with us. 2:15 left in the third quarter. It has been all Phoebus tonight. Woodside started off strong, but Phoebus has just been relentless. 2:15 left in the third quarter. Bell is going deep. Throws it. Incomplete. Intended for Stephon Welsh, but good coverage right there and a flag on the play.
The problem is they want to go to Stephon Welsh, but he's going to be double covered for the rest of this game, Greg. And both guys are slow to get up right now. Welsh is down as well as the defender.
All right, you see the band right there and the cheerleaders? All right, folks, set your VCRs, everybody. This game will be shown again coming up Wednesday, November the 24th, Thanksgiving Eve at 7 p.m. Remember, if you can't catch it then, you can go to our website, WPNB.com, and try to watch it this Wednesday at 7 o'clock and order a copy of the game. We'll be seeing you for more Channel 47 coverage of Newport News High School sports in January when we turn our focus to basketball. Be sure to check Channel 47's website at WPNB.com for our schedule. And I know a lot of the focus will be on Woodside's basketball team. And they are great. And Greg Bickaveris, Nate Milton, glad you are with us. So Nate will have to read the student crew in the fourth quarter. Coming up in a couple minutes. Updated student crew.
And there you see number 4, Reggie Norwood, coming off the field. He got shaken up in that collision with Stephon Welsh.
And Nate, that's a good point. Reggie Norwood and Stephon Welsh were big players in that first game, in which Woodside won 14-13. Reggie Norwood, solid player for the Phoebus Phantoms. He specializes in cornerback and wide receiver. And there's Lewis, and that's what will happen. You get a penalty on the Woodside bench, and it forced Phoebus all the way down to the red zone there.
I was a little bit surprised to see Lewis in the game at this point, but going back to that penalty, what it looked like was one of the Woodside players that not in uniform on the sidelines was in the referee's ear, yelling, yapping, running his mouth, and the ref threw a flag on him, and that's why you're seeing Phoebus with such great field position.
56-27, 1:38 left in the third quarter. Aaron Ward and company, the junior, number 3, 6'2", 170-pounder for Phoebus. And his team, here comes the run. Touchdown, Phoebus.
Wow.
Nice run by number 34, B.J. Brown. As Phoebus makes it 62-27.
B.J. Brown getting it done. And, folks, this kid is 6'2", 235. Big guy right up the middle. You're going to see a great play here. Another draw play just with the fake, and then inside, B.J. Brown. Nobody's even within a yard of him, and he just does a great job using that speed, getting through, and putting the hurt on 62-27, and it's getting ugly, folks.
It is. Flag on the play, though. Nate, they scored at the beat of the drum line there. Flag on the play. Greg Bickaveris, Nate Milton, glad you're with us. 10 different sports we've aired on this channel, and look forward to basketball coming up in January. Again, I hope everybody has a good Thanksgiving next week. Always a great time to get around with friends and family. Nate will be doing his report card in the fourth quarter. Look forward to that. Bill D will, if he wins this game, of course, we don't ever want to say it until it's finally over, but he'll be shifting his attention to Hampton, and he lost that game 33-22 back on October the 22nd. The same night we did the Heritage Menchville game, which Heritage won 28-7. So we have 1:25 left. We're at Todd Stadium in Newport News. 62-27. Nate will take care of the scoring summary. Just a moment.
And, folks, we do have an update. Ilan Lewis, new career state rushing record. Get this, Greg, 7,139 yards.
That didn't happen in 1 or 2 years, folks. That was during the 2001-2002 season as well when they won the state championship.
Unbelievable.
There's Bill D right there. Has to be happy. His team playing very well on television tonight. Yeah. Dave was telling us he thinks it all happened in this game.
And I tell you what, folks, you know, a lot of times we hear about players from Hampton or from across the water, and you don't really have an idea of how good they are. You know, I was one that I thought Ilan Lewis was a good player coming into the night. There you see Coach Dotson, but I had no idea of how talented this kid really is. Like I said, in my opinion, I've been watching high school football for about 10 years now. He's the best running back I've ever seen.
I've been watching since I've been a kid, bar none. He's the best I've seen. This kid is unbelievable. He will definitely help Frank Beamer next year at Virginia Tech. Aaron Ward, the snap, the kick by Swartz. It's up. Sounds like a law firm. Swartz kicks it again. 63-27 with flag on the play. I think they're going to call it on Woodside. Both teams are getting a little sloppy here as we have an injured player for Phoebus limping a little bit, number 75, Maurice Hampton.
It looks like the guys are starting to get injured, and they're also getting in each other's faces. It's getting a little chippy out there, you know, because it's late in the game. Frustration is starting to set in for the Wolverines, but, you know, they've really got to keep their composure at this point.
This is the time when we get some subs in the game. You know, I mean, you're up by, 36 points. You still have 12 minutes left. And this game is going in the 2-hour, 15, 20-minute range right now. Fatigue is such an issue.
And that player on the ground is number 9, Devontae Lindsay, 6'3" senior. He's a very great special teams player for Phoebus. And, you know, again, special teams is an important part of the game. We've seen on these field goals, these point afters, you know, they've got a great kicking game, and losing Lindsay could hurt them, you know, down the road.
You see the referee right there, Donald Sandy and Bill D, kind of getting used to each other, feeling each other out. D remembers him because last year Phoebus lost to Indian River 27-9 after they beat Hampton 24-20 in their 12th game last year. You see Bill D lives in Newport News, was an assistant at Denby like we mentioned before, and went to a small college at Mansfield State, but he learned a lot of football from Frank Pizzalia. He just doesn't want the game to get away from him and get too sloppy. You see the Woodside team kind of huddling together, kind of showing some solidarity right there, not giving up. And that's what you see is a great picture right there. And then you see right there an injured player for Phoebus, number 9. That's Devont Lindsay. That's teamwork, solidarity, companionship, and friendship. You know, we talk about sports. You can talk about rivalries, but if these players get along and they're civil towards each other, They treat each other like gentlemen. Sportsmanship is unbelievable, Nate. That's the most important thing.
Right, and I think that's what's, we're seeing, kind of here late in the game, the kids, I know they're frustrated, but you got to remember that sportsmanship. You got to remember, that keep your composure. Lindsay is really hurting right now, but we're going to see, does Woodside have it in them to, come back and at least make an attempt? They've really got to start going downfield. Stephon Welsh, get that vertical passing game going. But, it's just been looking bleak since about that second quarter, Greg. That's when Phoebus really started to take over after that messed up on that special teams play.
Good. .125 left in the third quarter, 63-27 Phoebus. Oh, a lot of good college games tomorrow, folks. But unfortunately, if you're an Ohio State or Michigan fan, you have to go somewhere to watch the game. Somebody asked me why that is, because ABC is regionalizing that game with Georgia Tech and Virginia here at 1 o'clock. I believe Dave's got the college game plan, but I'm going to have to go somewhere and watch it. But anyway, who knows? That game is not quite this year compared to what it was last year, but who knows? Crazier things have happened.
You see if you can go down the road and see if Bill D can get it on the satellite.
Oh, yeah, Bill D. And he'll be watching TV all night tonight, the Bill D channel. 63-27 with 1 minute left. Phoebus in total control, but, I'm impressed by both teams and their sportsmanship, and that means a lot. Willie Bell running from the wing T. Woodside's done so well this year. All started back at summer practice and the passing drills and going to military boot camps like Danny Dotson has. Let's go Darryl Cooper right there, number 22. Phoebus in the blue and gold, Woodside in the white, aqua and black. And we talked about that on the outstretch, Nate. Why Woodside's the visiting team is because of PowerPoints.
Absolutely. The PowerPoints is what it all comes down to. And Bethel, both teams' games against Bethel really was what was going on.
We have just been informed we're going to have a running clock the rest of the game.
And this is very important. A continuous clock, we saw it again when Hampton played Woodside. The score got so out of hand, they put it on continuous clock, and they're doing the same thing tonight.
It's kind of like the unfortunate thing, you're relating it to terms. It's like pulling the plug. All right, folks. Their cheerleader there. And that is the end of the third quarter. With the score, it is one more left to go. Phoebus 63, Woodside 27. We'll be back after this live on Channel 47.
About a year ago, Mark and I thought, air pollution, global warming. How can we make a difference? So Mark modified our car, some sort of homemade energy source.
The best part is the car emits only helium. Genius.
But the EPA says the energy we use in our home can cause twice the greenhouse gases of a car. So now I look for products that are in the Energy Star. Simple.
The EPA invites you to go to EnergyStar.gov to discover what you can do to reduce air pollution.
Year after year, the good folks at Domino's Pizza have been feeding the Channel 47 van crew. The staff and students of Channel 47 would like to thank Domino's for their support. You can enjoy Domino's Pizza right now by calling 599-3003 to have Domino's feed your crew.
All right, folks, welcome back right here to the start of the fourth quarter. Running clock, don't forget that. What that means, the clock will not stop at all. And Bell on the quarterback keeper, number 7, throws the screen pass, and it's complete to number 25 right there, and that was Angel Otero. All right, folks, now we're going to talk about our crew who've done such a great job, not just for this game, but all year long. The executive producer of Peninsula District Football on Channel 47 is Pat Finneran and Jim Anklem. Today's game was produced by Dave Underwood and directed by Bill Barlow. And the associate producer was Mike Price. The senior producer of football for Channel 47 is Ray Price, and the engineer is Greg Swan. Nate will take care of this student crew unless Chris gets back and he just joins us. Chris feeling a little bit better here in the fourth quarter. And there's a run right there by number 25, Angel Otero. Chris, go ahead and take care if you can, the student crew.
Okay, well, on CG, we've got Candace Schotz. We've got Robert Braswell on audio. We've got Erica Witherspoon on TD. Stephen Wilkes is our VTR and slow-mo. On camera, we have Ronnie Lease, Mike Amick, Ryan Baker, Mike Price, Arias Jennings, and Corey Wade. We have Cedric Hall on reporter and camera setup, myself here in the booth, and that's it.
All right, folks. Also want to thank Sonny Dirth for all his help this year as well. Willie Bell throws it up the middle, complete to Stephon Welsh. Woodside and Danny Dotson wondering where was that in the third quarter. Running clock, great catch by the athlete, Stephon Welsh.
And Welsh just does a great job of making himself available in the middle of the field, presenting that big target. You're going to see it right here, folks. Willie Bell just surveying the field before he gets the snap. And Stephon Welsh just does a great job. Just nice little slant pattern. Presents himself 6'3". He's able to match up with any defensive back and does a great job of bringing that pass in.
There's Bell again throwing it. Complete. Nice catch. Woodside looking sharp here by Javon Shaw. Talk about Phoebus' top players, Ilan Lewis and Aaron Ward, of course, but Nate mentioned Thomas Johnson, Robert Edwards, and Matt Wright, and Stephen Moss. Chris Swartz done a great job tonight too, Nate. And also your buddy Stephen Friday.
Yeah, Stephen Friday, they can't say enough about him. But right there, Willie Bell does a good job of getting that pass off to Stephon Welsh. But, yeah, the front four of Phoebus has really done a good job in shutting Woodside down in the second half.
Bell throws it complete. Nice catch right there by the bulldozer, number 30, Jared Dietrich. Running clock, don't forget that. 9:23 left in the game. It is 63-27 Phoebus. They'll play Hampton next week.
And here you see Jared Dietrich, who caught the touchdown earlier, does a great job running, but he got a big hit right there at the end by Mr. Anderson. Donovan Anderson comes in with that strength. And, right now you're seeing a great drive by Woodside, but the reason that is because they've seen some substitutions. Also, Phoebus is playing a little bit back. They're playing off of the ball because the continuous clock is running, and, they really don't have much to worry about right now.
There's Woodside again. Bell makes a run, and he gets in. Nice run there by Willie Bell in the second effort. Touchdown, Woodside. Makes it 63-33. Shows you Woodside's not giving up, and a new center right there for Woodside, number 77. That was Damian Cameron.
Right. Good job right there by Willie Bell. You're going to see right here. Gets the snap, and, the defensive line steps up right now, and it looks like they got him, but he just uses his quickness, uses speed, looking like another number 7 we used to see around these parts a lot, showing that scrambling ability, and he's able to get in the end zone, showing that even though they're down, they're beaten, they've still got the heart enough to keep playing.
Here's the extra point by Two-Tone. It's up, and it looks like it's going to be good. 100th point of the night, folks. 97, almost. Makes me look like I can't add there, folks. 97 points. I got my degree at George Mason, by the way. Nate, thank you very much. Then I went to Ferguson High School. Somebody said, where's Ferguson High School at? Well, it doesn't exist anymore, folks. There's Bill D right there who got his first win against Ferguson 19 years ago. He's been coaching the team for 20 years. Well, we're taking on Hampton, his big rival, Mike Smith. And that rivalry between him and Mike Smith, as you see the crowd right there, is a lot like Dennis Kozlowski's rivalry with Mike Smith in the 70s and the 80s and 90s. Points said, in 74, Bethel won the state championship. Hampton 75, Bethel 76, Hampton 77. Hampton, heck, won a state championship in 1936, Nate. I'm sure you were covering that game.
Oh, yes, I remember that game like it was yesterday. But, just like Tommy Reeman said, it's going to take a while. It's going to take some dedication, consistency, building that tradition for the Newport News schools to get up to that level of a Hampton, of a Phoebus, of a Bethel. We've got some talent in this area, but they've just got to put it all together.
There's the kick right there by the Woodside Wolverines, Delano Wilson, and taken by number 2. He's dangerous, Donathan Robinson. Here he comes. Donathan still on his feet to about the 26-yard line. All right, folks, you know about our van crew of high school students bringing you coverage of these football games. Well, they do a lot more than that. If you're a high school student in Newport News school system, you can participate in making the programs that air on Channel 47 and explore the career of television production by enrolling in our TV1 course. Just ask your counselor or call 591-4687 extension 0 for more information. And we're open next week, Monday, Tuesday, for the Thanksgiving break. And, of course, 5:57 left in this game with the running clock. Flags on the play. course, it's the fourth time Phoebus has scored over 60 points this year. 97 points scored total. We mentioned they scored 62 against Heritage and Menchville and 69 against Gloucester, and almost did against Warwick, 57-10 back on November 5th.
Right, and if you're Woodside, this is not what you wanted at all. You wanted to be competitive, you wanted to be in the game, and they were for a half, but ever since really around the last part of that second quarter, it's been all Phoebus, and they're showing why they won back-to-back championships in 2001, 2002.
And that's Lewis back in there. Unbelievable. He will not give up on Ilan Lewis. Talking about still in there. I guess he's trying to get fresh for the Hampton game next week. But, gee, you only have 5 minutes left. And I'll tell you, our colleagues in the Hampton schools who do TV over there, they must have had a show this year of seeing Ilan Lewis.
Absolutely, and if I'm Coach D, I'm putting Ilan Lewis on the sidelines. They're bringing him off. I think they wanted to get him over 300 yards for the night. He's gotten that. Put him on the sidelines, give him some iced tea, put his feet up on a pillow, because this kid has carried you to the next round.
Absolutely. Here comes same quarterback in there. And a nice catch right there, and a good throw by Aaron Ward. Nate, go ahead and do the report card when you're ready in just a few moments. First for Woodside. Make it quick.
Well, for Woodside, they came in and then, they did a good job starting off early. They just kind of lost their way after that special teams mistake. And, you got to give them a C. I give them a C. They were overmatched talent-wise, but they didn't give up. They played a hard game. And, you got to tip your cap to them for having a great season and making it to the playoffs.
And for Phoebus?
For Phoebus, what can you say? Ilan Lewis gets an A. The rest of the team gets an A as well. Coach D has done a great job. This team is, set up, and as good as Hampton is, if they can play like they've played in the second half, I think Phoebus has a chance to give them a run for their money.
There's the option right there, and a nice second effort run right there by number 27 for Phoebus, Dennis Mathis. And Dave and I, the producer Dave Underwood and I were joking about basketball season starting up. I think basketball season started tonight right here. Goodness gracious, 63-34. I mean, both teams have scored a lot of points.
Yeah, and then, you got to tip your hat. You hear a lot about other schools and other districts, but in other areas. But Woodside came in tonight, and Phoebus, like you saw in that run right there, Phoebus has lived up to the hype. They've lived up to their billing, and all you got to do is tip your hat to them.
3:20 left in the game. Phoebus just keeping it on the ground. And there you go again. Number 27 right there. Could it be a touchdown? Yes. Yes, it is. Touchdown, Phoebus by number 27, Dennis Mathis. Makes it 69-34. These are not the first team players here.
Dennis Mathis, a 5'9" sophomore right there with the run. We finally got over 100. Now you see Dennis Mathis looking like Johnny Mathis, and chances are he's going to take that right to the house. No answer for the running game tonight. It's been a story. And Woodside came here to play, but they were just overmatched, outmanned, and out-hustled. And you got to give all the credit in the world to Phoebus. They're going to be very tough next week.
There's the Phoebus band right there. And we're not watching the movie Ray tonight here. Phoebus knows where they're going, Nate.
Absolutely.
Extra point by Swartz to make it 70-34. Does he make it? It's good. 70-34, Phoebus up over Woodside. 104 points tonight. Phoebus scored in their last game 30 points against Bethel. They beat Bethel 30-20. Hampton beat Woodside in the last game 47-13. All right, folks. The students of Channel 47 make their own show each week. It's a very good show. It's 47 Fridays. You can catch it right here on Channel 47 each Friday at 3:30 and 6:30. That's 47 Fridays, local television made by our students from all 5 Newport News schools, and they're making some TV history out there tonight.
I'll tell you, the best thing for Woodside at this point is we are under that continuous clock, so their misery is going to be ended pretty soon here.
And Bill D will have a lot to watch when he gets home on his video VCR. And he says, Greg, I get a lot of indigestion after these games. He won't tonight, though. He won't need no Alka-Seltzer tonight, Nate. There he is, Bill D right there, lives in the Hydenwood area of Newport News in his 20th year. We taking on his arch rival next week, Mike Smith, and boy, oh boy, will that be a contest next week. Went to Mansfield State, grew up in the tri-state area of New Jersey. He's a good gentleman, too. A great guy, Bill D is. We get a chance to know him. Real fine gentleman. Coached Newport News as well. Started off his year last year beating Norcom 47-0. There's Danny Dotson in his 6th year. Not quite what he thought on the drawing boards when we talked on Tuesday, but it's effort. They gave effort. The Phoebus will go to 9-2 overall, and Woodside will go to 8-3. Great year, 8-3. And here come the Phantoms on defense, trying to stop Woodside. And a good run right there by number 20, and that was Corey Bing. And let me say this, too. You don't want to get dirty right now toward the end of the game.
Doug Armstead with the hit right there. Looked a little high on Corey Bing, but great run back.
Let me say this, too, Nate. You look at some of these records, too. Woodside went 8-2 2 years ago. They didn't make the playoffs. Warwick went 8-2 one year in 2000. They didn't make the playoffs. So a lot of teams, Heritage back in 98 went 9-1, didn't make the playoffs. So it's funny that Booker T's in there when Warwick beat them earlier this year. But these all PowerPoints are wacky, a lot like the BCS is.
And, there does need to be a little bit of a review on that and taking a look how we see these teams going into the playoffs. But you got to tip your hat. The Newport News School stepping up this year, it's just, we're going to see. We're going through a transition right now. Like you mentioned, Coach Quillen is on his way out. We're going to see what's going on at Minchfield. Denby stepped up this year. Woodside looks like they've got a foundation of something great, Chris. And, Newport News is just starting to come up.
Well, they did win the 3 games this year opposed to last year where they didn't win at all. And, that's what they need to do. Just improve every year, and they'll be fine.
There's the football right there. Referee's done a good job tonight. Everybody's a little winded. This game, folks, is gone 2 hours and 40 minutes. And the clock has been running for the most part in the 4th quarter. You see the Phantoms in the blue and gold there. We'll be taking on Hampton next Friday night at Darling Stadium. So here it is, 3 of the 4 schools in the Peninsula District in Division 5 playoffs. Pretty remarkable. That's 75%. And Bill D's made the postseason 60% of the time he's been the coach. Great staff. You need a great coaching staff as well. And these players are bought into the system on both teams at this high level. You have to buy into the system.
Absolutely. And, again, it goes back to that consistency with the coaches. Bill D has that track record. He's got the championships to prove it, and he's been there long enough, so you're going to buy into his system. And we've seen what Phoebus has done the last couple years.
All right, Willie Bell will probably take his last play as a football player before basketball season starts on Monday. And John Richardson says no matter what they did tonight, they'll be playing basketball on Monday. Of course, if they lost, there's no break. Bell gets sacked. Good stop in the play right there by number 70 for Phoebus, and that'll do it. Tyreek Brickhouse. This game is over.
And unfortunately, that's the way Willie Bell is going to end his high school football career, on the back, just manhandled by Phoebus. But you got to tip your hat to these guys.
All right, Phoebus wins it in the first round of the Eastern Regional Final, 70-34 over the Woodside Wolverines here at Todd Stadium in Newport News. You see right there, number 71, Brian Stroop, excellent Boy Scout. Been a long, tough year. Started back in the summer in weightlifting, conditioning, going to military camps. And he's a senior. His career is over, but a great kid. I know we featured him during the first game against Denby with his locks for hair, and what a great kid he is.
Well, it's bittersweet. I mean, on the one hand, you made it to the playoffs. You've done something no other Woodside team has really been able to do, really become that force in the district. You see great show of respect between Coach D and Coach Dotson. But on the other hand, to go out like this, a loss is a loss is a loss, but you don't want to go out being embarrassed, and that's what happened to Woodside tonight.
You're going to remember this the rest of the season, unfortunately.
Absolutely.
But Woodside's got nothing to be ashamed of. 70-34, Phoebus wins it. And great sportsmanship by the coaches. Let's take a look at some highlights here, folks. First is the Ilan Lewis touchdown run, one of them. Here comes up the middle. And Ilan Lewis just keeps running and running right by number 35, Brian Carter.
And again, you can't say enough about Ilan Lewis, but here you're going to see Woodside coming back up top. Then you see Willie Bell using his elusiveness, and great pass right there to Jared Dietrich.
Here come the Phantoms. And Woodside gets a big interception by Britton, turning the game around possibly, but it just didn't work.
And that's right, Greg, because on the very next play, they give it right back. And you're going to see Robinson step up in the passing lane and just take Willie Bell's pass and really kill the momentum that Woodside started to build. And
more of the Lewis show continues, and they win it 70-34 over Woodside. And watching the post-game highlights in the 5th quarter. Ilan Lewis right up the middle, right up the gut.
Unbelievable.
He was fatigued, but he kept on playing.
Right,
Nate.
he was injured going in 300 yards, 6 touchdowns. Unbelievable. Here you're going to see just another example, that great running game, that power running game, up the gut, fake to Ilan Lewis, but they give it to B.J. Brown, and the big guy takes it home.
He scored touchdowns, 2-point conversions. He did everything. Here's Willie Bell. And Willie Bell right there on the run. And he just decides to take it himself on his second effort, and he just tiptoes in. All right, let's go to Cedric right now with Ilan Lewis.
Thanks, Greg. I'm here with Ilan Lewis. I want to say congratulations on putting a new state record. How does it feel to accomplish a goal of this magnitude?
It feels real great. Coming into the season, I really wasn't worried about getting the record. I mean, I just wanted to win, help my team win so we can get to another state championship.
All right, and what other goals have you set for yourself in the future?
I just want to be successful in everything I do in football. Nothing real big. I mean, just like anybody else.
All right, are there any college choices yet?
Well, I've already verbally committed to Virginia Tech, so I think I'm going to Tech.
All right, congratulations and good effort. And all right, back to the booth.
I think what you saw right there was a man.
Yeah.
And the man was Ilan Lewis. And he is a mature kid. Cedric doing a good job with the interview right there. Yes, he is signed, sealed, and delivered at Virginia Tech. All right, Greg Bickaveris along with Nate Milton, Chris Amick, and Phoebus wins it big time tonight, 70-34. Big matchup, big plays big on the running, and good defense by Phoebus. They got their composure, but probably got in the second half because Woodside played well in the first half.
Right, after that special teams mistake, it was all Phoebus. Woodside had some momentum, but they lost it, and you can't say enough about Ilan Lewis. A lot of times you hear hype about a player, and you don't know it till you see it. And, folks, coming into this game, I knew he was good. I didn't know he was this good, Chris. Ilan Lewis, like I said, one of the best running backs I've seen in my lifetime at the high school level.
You're absolutely right, Nate. And what was one of the things that we said Woodside had to do?
Stop the run.
Stop the run. And they couldn't do it tonight, and Ilan Lewis punished them, and that's
300 yards and 6 touchdowns. 300 yards, folks.
Yeah.
All right, folks, he did over 2,000 yards rushing last year, 2,000 rushing yards this year. Of course, Woodside will drop now to 8-3 as they finish their season, and Phoebus will go to 9-2 overall as they take on Hampton in a big game next Friday night. It's been a great year of live high school football, 4 games, and of course we have basketball coming up in January. This has been a presentation of Channel 47 Sports. For more, log on to WPNB.com. For Chris Amick and Nate Milton, I'm Greg Bickaveris. It is Phoebus winning the first round of the Eastern Regional Division 5 semifinal 70-34 over Woodside. Good night from Todd Stadium.